Good evening. What up, what up, what up? Guess what day it is? Friday the 13th. October 13th, that is. And anyway, good evening again and welcome to the flawedcast. So let me start sending some people some invites so we can begin. I'm going to talk a little bit about parenting today. Cleaning my glasses. And I got a couple of good topics. Not that many, so we ain't going to run late tonight. So just be ready. We're going to be in and out. Anyway, let's get started. Let's go drop on in, everybody. Zul, what's up, my brother? Glad to see you here today. He was going missing last week. He was in and out, but I understand. Maybe he had to work or something, whatever it is. I'm glad to see you anyway. We're going to talk about some parenting today. I know you got some little ones, so that'll help, or to help. It's really questions, stuff we're going to talk about that's parent-based. I got a few relationship points too, but we're going to keep it on parents, so. Miss Diane Jones, Sean Clark, what's up, my brother? Yo, Sean, man, I want to do this sports podcast on Wednesday, man. How you feel about me doing it on Red Forum? Tell me what you think. Talk to Sean about it. He okay with it. Just trying to figure out what y'all, if I'm going to get enough support if I do it under that page. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think, brother. Jill, what's going on? Are you trying to outdrink me today, Jill? You ain't going to do it today because I'm only home.
Big ass smoke out.
Jill.
Oh, I'm coming.
You put the stuff in it and then you twist. It's all right, but sometimes
Hello.
What's on?
How are you?
What's all that noise in the background? The dogs or Arnie?
That is Arnie. I am with the family. I'm with the family.
That's me, bro. That's me.
Yeah, what's up, brother?
What's good?
What's going on, man? How you?
I can't call. You know how it is.
Yeah, we're about to do this podcast on some parenting today. We're going to talk about some parenting topics.
Oh, well, I'm not a parent except for dogs. So
Huh?
I'm not a parent.
What do you mean?
I don't have children.
So what? That mean you can't chime in?
I can chime in.
We're going to talk about relationships too. What's up, Nevia?
What's going on, Gold?
I'm waiting for everybody to come on in so we can get started. How you doing today?
Well, yourself.
Do this podcast, bro.
What's the topics tonight? What we got?
Hello.
How are you, sis?
Good. How you doing?
I'm well.
Parenting and relationships.
Yeah, we're gonna jump into some parenting a little bit, just for a brief moment, because I got a request from a couple of people. So
Okay.
I said I would oblige them with a couple of good ones. I always got good scenarios though. So
No, you gonna put it in the Swiss. Oh, she got a green cup, so you see her cup green.
I'm about to pull mine.
What you bought? Whoa!
Yeah, I ain't finna do the old English yet. Michelle, what's going on, Michelle?
Michelle, what's up, girl?
You tell somebody about that.
Listen,
You know what I mean?
I guess I need to see. I got a clear glass today.
That's okay.
All right. Just a few more people, then we're going to get started. I'm just waiting for a few more people. That's all.
While we waiting, I'm going to go pour.
All right.
Amen.
That's what I'm going to do.
Jill, how's life in South Jersey?
Yeah.
Good. Good.
You damn near in Pennsylvania.
What happened?
You damn near in Pennsylvania.
No, a little bit. I'm close to Pennsylvania, and yeah, I'm real close. Maybe like 20 minutes.
I know.
Oh,
Your husband swear you only 40 minutes from here. I know you're like an hour and a half.
Minutes. You think? Uh-oh.
I got 2 zip codes. I said I'm an hour.
All right, I'm back.
What you were talking about? I put the
I'm
zip
back.
code in and get 2 different
What
addresses.
happened?
We are arguing.
Get out of here. I'm fucking my life.
We arguing about how
What's going
far
on,
it is.
girl?
All right.
Can Michelle hear?
Let me see how many people I got so far, so I can go ahead and rock out.
How y'all doing?
Hey.
Oh, Michelle got her mic working, y'all. Go
Yeah.
figure.
Michelle, I'm gonna shoot you you and Tyrone an invite when we finish, so y'all can come to my sip and paint in November.
Sounds good.
All right, how you doing?
Fine, and you? How you doing?
Girl, enjoying fall break. This is the last day, but it is what it is.
I hear you. Mr. Gould, how you doing?
I'm doing very good, young lady. How are you?
Good. I can't complain.
How's life in the dirty South?
I love it.
Right, he the only one still talking about he can't stand Georgia.
I told y'all why. It ain't like I ain't got a good reason.
But
Why you don't like it?
you just have to get in with
I just went down to Georgia like less than a year ago, maybe 6-7 months ago. And as soon as I got in the airport while I was waiting for my bags, a gay dude approached me.
I mean,
And
that can happen any place.
listen, stop.
I'm
Listen,
just saying.
I was in the airport at baggage claim. I'm like, damn, let me at least get out this bitch.
I'm just saying that can happen anywhere. You just gotta.
I'm not saying it can't, but I know it's way more rampant down there than it is anywhere. That's a fact. That shit is the new San Francisco. So?
I'm not gonna say you don't have any truth to that, but however.
Huh?
I'm not gonna say there's no truth to that, but however.
Well, y'all don't deal with it as much as the men would anyway, because it's not as rampant for women as it is for men.
You'd be shocked.
Is it?
That's a topic. Because there have been women that have approached me that I thought was a man until I saw something different. That's a whole nother topic.
See? Well, you okay with it.
That's
You
a
okay
whole
with it.
nother topic.
All right, anyway. Y'all ready?
Ready.
Ready.
There's only 5 or 6 of us right now, but we can get it popping. All right. First question I want to ask is, do you ever feel yourself parenting, if you got more than one child, do you ever feel yourself parenting one child much harder than you parent the other?
Yes.
In other words, do you actually feel yourself almost playing favorites to one of your children over the other?
I
I
don't,
don't feeling, but
they say I do, but I don't. The kids say I do, but I don't. I was harder on my son because he's a boy.
mm-hmm.
But I don't play favoritism. I do for all of them if I can do it. And I'm there for all of them. When they play sports, I'm there. I even base my vacation around their games and everything, so.
Right. I can tell you for a fact that we all do it. It's not uncommon that we do it. It's just a thing that happens because it's not like you try to do it. It's an unconscious thing. But what happens a lot of times also is we don't know that we unconsciously do it, especially if one child is not doing as good in school. So you treat the other one that is doing very well in school a little differently. And you may not even know it. Just because you buy them all the same things and just because you feed them all the same way and make sure that you're doing your job as a parent evenly across the board, for some reason, kids can always feel the difference. And if they feel it, it's the truth. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what it is. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, most of the topics, I don't know if y'all know, but a lot of times I get a lot of the topics I usually refer to someone like either, you know, a therapist or somebody that will be able to answer some of the questions for me. So when I come on this podcast, I try to be a little bit informed about some of the stuff I talk about. Some of it, not all of it. Some of the shit I tell the truth. If I don't know, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, like that, we all do it according to this lady. And she said that we unconsciously do it. We don't try to do it, but if the kids are telling you, then it's fact, you know, whether you know it or not. And it happens. It's not like you try to do it, you know. Most people are usually playing favoritisms to their firstborn, you know, unless the firstborn is a boy, and then the mother treats the girl a little bit more closer because, you know, there's more of a bond with the girl because of having to do her hair and having to teach her more of the girly things and having to put all the manly or boyish things off on the father. That boy may feel like he was parented differently by the mother, but the truth is you just can't teach him but so much as a parent, being that you're the woman as opposed to, you know, the man in the house. And listen, for all the single mothers out there, this ain't disrespect, because we know you did a great job with what you had to work with. But I'm just telling it like it is, because again, this is information that I got from somebody else, even though I'm a parent myself.
I agree.
Sorry.
I agree with that. Being a single parent, I had 2 sons first. So there was only a certain point that I could teach both my sons.
Right.
You know, and here we go. And I think I've said this before on your podcast. When it came down to certain things, I can't teach him how or what it feels like if he has an erection, because guess what? I don't have that part. So I had to kind of get some assistance from people, but from good people, to make sure that they understood certain aspects as it pertained to the male body, because I couldn't do it. I don't know anything about that. So I agree.
I understand. When my daughter started getting her period, I didn't want to hear nothing about it. They kept trying to get me involved. I don't want no fuck. I don't want no parts. You know, I didn't want no parts. It took me a long time to even. I don't even think I ever did, to be honest with you. But I didn't want to change my daughter's pamper. Like, I didn't want to be a part of none of that shit. Yeah, I'm being honest. I'm telling it like it is. That's just what it was. For me, it was like, I don't want, you know, and I found ways and excuses. I ran out the house sometimes, you know, I did all kind of shit. That's just because I wouldn't have to do it. When it came to the boys, though, I slapped the shit and throw them around, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, you know, because I didn't care, you know. I mean, I didn't even care about the results. I just made sure it got done. But it was different with the boys. So I could, you know, and again, I'm being honest. It was just, for me, and it was kick gloves for my daughter. I treated her, you know, like I just didn't want to be a part of it. I was afraid. I was a punk. I'm a wimp. I can admit it. So that's just what it is. But so, like I said, how you feel about that, Dexter? I know you and Keisha just came on. We talked about parenting a little bit, and we were talking about, do you feel, if you got more than one child, do you feel you've ever treated one child better than the other? And what I was explaining to people is all of us unconsciously do, and whether we know it or not. But I'm sure that a lot of people most of the people aren't going to say that they didn't, but truth is we all did, and it was out of our control. Yo, by the way, is it hot in the South? Michelle.
Something like that.
I'm sorry, I mute because I'm getting something done.
I said,
but no,
Michelle and Neva, y'all in the same town. Is it hot down
raining.
there?
It's raining. I got drizzling.
It's raining, and the temperature's dropped, but it's not cold.
Yeah.
It's comfortable.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's
all right, ain't nobody chiming in, so I'm gonna go to the next question. Oh no, I asked that one last week, I think. Yeah.
But I wasn't on last week, so go ahead and ask it again.
Okay, here's a question. Since there's 3 ladies on the podcast right now, I'm asking this to men too, so I want to hear. Wait, Dexter put the ones that sat close to me by default were treated different. Yeah, you crazy, man. So check it out. This is a tough question, especially for guys. I know that's gonna be difficult. Well, I think guys may be okay with it more so than women, but ladies, could you ever date or marry a man who was gay and now he's not gay anymore, and now you're in a relationship?
No. And I'm done with the topic. Well, we'll let people speak.
Hell no.
What? I'm just asking. So y'all said men can't. So y'all saying they can't be reformed?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying I couldn't marry them. So I'm good. Toss in the towel.
Tony, are you serious right now?
What do you mean? It was a good question.
It is a good question.
Listen, you'd be surprised how many men that you might be, especially where you at, that you may meet, go out on a date with, and 6 months in, he tell you what he used to do, and now you're in love with him. Then what? What do you mean?
No.
It's, I mean, because there's.
You're dating somebody. 6 months into the relationship, you start falling victim. You falling for him. Y'all done already had sex. Y'all done already did everything y'all was gonna do. Y'all in a relationship now, and then he springs it on you. What are you gonna do at that point?
I'm walking out the door. Walking out the door.
So look, this little square button.
Walk out the door. We gone.
Okay.
Why? No.
Dexter?
And I'm gonna tell you why, because I was in that situation before, and I'm walking right out the door.
Why though?
I don't want to be with anybody else. I've been with a man.
But he's reformed. He with you now. You never slept
It
with him.
don't matter. Being reformed doesn't mean that there's still not tendencies.
There's not. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, just like, just like a drug addict. Just because they're reformed, that does not mean they still don't have those tendencies.
So you never did a drug addict either?
If I had, I can't say that I haven't, but but that doesn't mean, at the end of the day, that doesn't mean that's something that I want to deal with. And when you know better, you do better.
Okay, hold on a second. Gentlemen, I know y'all on the podcast. Could you ever date a woman who used to be gay or a lesbian, and now she's reformed and she's dating guys again, and you're dating her for a period of time, and then she springs it on you 6 months after you've already been dating her? Could you continue to date after finding that out? So I think today it's a better chance they will date a woman that is now a man than a deformed gay guy. I mean, women still date preachers that live a double. Okay. That makes sense.
That makes sense. And that goes along to what I'm saying. You have to, it's what you're willing to deal with. Now, I'm probably not the person that's going to deal with something like that. I wouldn't. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to, if that's what you used to do, and if you were being honest with me, I can respect you for being honest, but that means that's something I have to deal with.
How do you used to be something?
Well, a lot of guys might be okay with it, and I'll tell you why. See, like Freddie said, hell yeah, I can do
I knew
that.
somebody was going to say that. Yes, they can date a lesbian reform. I knew somebody was going to say that one.
It's going to be a lot of guys are going to say that. And I hate to say it, the truth is, because
guess what? They're gonna probably poke and poke and poke until they get that threesome. Come on, that's kind of common sense.
So
that's one thing.
Women can do that.
There you go. So
what was that? I heard something, but I can't.
That's Dex said reformed lesbians, the track star. Yes.
Oh my God.
See, I'm telling you, most guys.
That's his own, but that's that also comes with the territory. That's if somebody is trying to deal with that, then that's on them. But most individuals are not going to want to deal with that because, okay, say for me, being raised where I'm raised from, my roots. Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, not Eve and Eve.
Yeah, but here's the problem with what you're saying, though, Nevia, and I think that even though you're saying you would never do it, that doesn't mean I don't know if I agree with y'all reasoning behind it, because I just think that, I mean, the guy's reformed. I mean, I understand that
you can be reformed, but that doesn't mean I necessarily have to accept that.
But what are you doing? Like I said, what are you not accepting if you already been dating for a period of time and now you find out later on?
And the fact that he slept with a man and now he wants to come and lay with me, and that kind of defiles me.
But he laid with you already.
But
what if it's too late?
then I have to cut it off. I have to determine whether or not I want to cut that off. Think about it. I mean,
But the reason why he told you late because he wasn't expecting you to cut it off, especially if your relationship is intact.
that part right there. I mean, they may not expect it, but at some point you still, because you'll feel a certain type of way, and you don't want to harbor a feeling. As a woman, I wouldn't want to harbor a feeling. So I'd rather cut it off, and I can probably remain cordial and remain friends, but it may not be the same. And plus, I'm not going to look at you the same way. I'll respect you for what you told me. And honestly, I'm not going to look at you the same way.
I'll show you. I'll show you, but.
Okay. All right.
And I wouldn't.
I got it. I don't think it's fair though, but I got it.
I don't think it's
But why
right.
isn't
No,
it fair?
it's not. No. That's
Because
not cool.
because y'all trying to say that no one can reform. Y'all trying to say that just because.
That's not what I said.
Exactly.
I'm not saying that he's not reformed. I respect the honesty, but that does not mean that's necessarily something I have to deal with. What he used to be, is what he used to be. And he may not be that same person, but I don't want to be associated with what you used to be. Because at the end of the day, I'm still going to be associated with what you used to be.
What's up,
Not
brother?
how you are right now, but what you used to do.
Your topic's gonna get somebody killed.
Who is that? I'm
So
trying to
with
figure out
that,
who that is.
do you agree with what they saying? I'm just saying if he reformed, and I get that you got to, and you're entitled to make your own decisions. But what I'm saying is, okay, so let me present a different scenario to these ladies real quick. What if 6 months from now he didn't tell you, and then 6 months later when he tells you in love with him?
I'm out of love. I'm out of love as soon as he told me.
I mean, I might
Done.
still be, I'm not going to say I'm not still in love, but I'm not going to be in love the same way. Because at the end of the day, the love may not change, but it will change. It will change because I'm still going to love him, but I'm not going to be in love with him the way I used to be.
So you're saying
you're
just going to fall out of love.
See, but in the back of my mind, I'm going to be looking at it like, dude, you was packing.
Yeah, Jill, like, I don't give a damn, yo. I'm out of there.
I mean, I'm just saying. In the back of my mind,
listen,
like,
I don't even
you
want
was packing.
I wish you
really
the best. I wish you the best of luck, but I can't fuck with you.
See, I know one thing. All the men are going to be okay with it. If she cute, because, most men are looking for the option.
Okay,
anyway.
But guess what? But see, for you all, it's different. For you all, okay, just be honest with you. For it is a double standard. Because when you all look at it, y'all don't see anything wrong with it. I'm just saying. Because you are looking at it, girl on girl, you get the best of both worlds. We're looking at it as like, dude, you was laying with another nigga. What?
That part.
No.
Let's talk about the 800-pound gorilla in the room. I'm concerned where people's mouths have been. And when I weigh the options, I'd rather go with the...
Where your love button? Say that again. Where that love button at?
Say it for the people in the back. Say it louder.
Repeat that. Say it loud.
Yo, but listen, hold up, Dex. Let me chime in on that. With the shit they doing nowadays, on both ends of the spectrum, they doing all kind of shit that I just don't agree with.
I mean, you're right.
I don't care about a lesbian just putting a piece of rubber in their mouth. That's okay. But on the women's side, they got to deal with another issue of the same thing they like, and now you're going to put something that's been somewhere, both parts, that have been hibernating in other males.
Packing. Say that again. You're packing.
Come on.
Yeah, but listen.
Just say it.
But there are men who do the same thing with women, and there are also men and women who eat that body part. That
somebody just posted that. True. But if it's okay, I'm gonna say this, and if it's what the two of you are doing, male and woman, male and female, then that's in the comforts of your own home. If you're not bringing it out, if you're not taking, that's on you. That's whatever you whatever floats your boat. Whatever floats your boat. However, when you start talking about now I used to do this and I used to do this and I need for you to accept me. I can accept you, but that doesn't mean, no, I can respect you, but that doesn't mean I have to accept the fact that I like what you've done.
But what if he did the same thing with women?
Babe, you want one? I didn't know they were both.
Does that make it
You all look
okay?
at it differently.
I'm asking you though. You're the one that's got to, you're the one making the decision that you wouldn't be able to deal with it no more. So what I'm saying is that's that man's thing with women, and what's the difference?
It's a major difference. I don't want to be with. I don't see.
All I'm asking is because I just want to know what's the
I think
difference.
for what it is, and if I have to be truthful, if I have to think in a mindset that I'm thinking right now. So for a woman, and I'm not saying I can't speak for all women. I can't speak for all women. I'm just speaking for me. If I'm looking at it, I look at it. If he's dealing with another female and me at the same time, or wants to be on that level, that I feel like I possibly could be a threat, or she could possibly be a threat. Because that's how we think. I've told you this before. Women are emotional. At the end of the day, we are emotional creatures. I'm just one of those realists that just believe that. We are emotional creatures. So with me know and understand that at me as a woman, I'm an emotional creature, I may look at it, I might, and it might quote unquote come out as an insecurity, because I might be insecure about what she's doing with the man that I think I'm in love with. And that's just real talk. And
Yeah,
vice
but I think
versa.
you're off topic. I don't think that got anything to do with what I asked you.
Because you're saying bringing another woman in,
No,
or bringing another.
no.
Okay,
I'm talking about a man having sexual intercourse with a woman in the same hole as he would have sexual intercourse with another man.
No.
No. Fuck
We're
no.
not doing it.
We're not doing. Fuck.
We're not doing it.
Next
All right,
topic.
Next topic.
I'm
Next
gonna mute
topic.
until this
Next topic.
is
Exactly.
over.
Next topic.
So,
I think
I'll
you
be
got
right
three.
here.
Next
I'll be
topic.
right here.
Next topic.
all right.
You got
Y'all
three.
ain't
Next
right.
topic.
I don't know what happened.
Next
Crystal,
topic.
anyway, let me just tell Crystal. Crystal just asked. Crystal, the question was, would you ever date a man who used to be gay and now he's a reformed? I don't even know if it's reformed or not.
What's the word you want to use? What's the
Tell her
word
watch
you
the
want to
video.
use?
Tell her watch the video.
He likes women again, and so you start dating him. Could you continue dating him if you found out later on that he used to date other men?
Next topic. Go to the next topic.
All right.
Tony, go to the next topic.
While Crystal's chiming in on that,
Ferdinand's comment.
Go watch the video.
Somebody asked what was the topic. Look at his answer. Oh my God.
I just said go to the next. Tell her watch the video. Go to the next topic.
Let's
okay.
let's move.
This is an easy one, but this is back to parenting.
Look,
Your child is a teenager.
They chiming in saying no. Okay, go ahead.
Your child is a teenager. He smokes weed. Would you ever smoke weed with your child if you smoke weed also?
I don't smoke, but even if I did, I wouldn't.
No.
Absolutely not. I know people that do.
I know a lot of people that do, and a lot of them say that they'd rather him smoke at home than smoke out in the street because you don't know. At least I know what he's getting.
I've heard that.
There's a bunch of stories out there that people use, but I find it. I never smoked in my life, so I don't know. But Christopher absolutely lied.
Never
tried it.
Never tried it. Ever.
Ask Arnie. I never tried it.
And not even an edible,
Nope.
nothing?
Nope.
I ain't got it in me.
I don't
You
either.
might try soon though.
You what?
Because I got real bad. I can't sleep. So
I got something for
my
you.
doctor told me to try it.
Get you a sleep number bed. Trust me, you'll sleep.
And I had all this.
I got you. If that
You get you one of those, you're gonna sleep all night long.
Get your melatonin. Get you some melatonin.
That melatonin shit don't work, and I don't know what it is. The shit make me itch. I'm being honest, yo. I tried this shit out all night, like, what the fuck is this? I'm like scratching all over the place, like it's just, it might not even have been that, but I blamed it on that because I was fucking itching on that.
Drink you a Guinness stout drought at night. That'll put you right.
No. You know me and OE. That's my guy.
Yeah,
Or you gonna wake up and make you want to party.
Huh?
Well, they
Drinking Crown tonight.
Just because I want to jumpstart myself before I go get the OE. So nobody here will smoke weed with their children. So here's my next question. Would you allow your child to smoke weed in your house?
I can't say that I haven't because I have grown kids and they have, but not in my house. In the garage.
Okay.
In the garage.
What if he's paying you rent?
In the garage.
Dex, you like me. I don't give a damn if you pay the whole mortgage. You
They're
ain't
lucky
smoking.
they're allowed to breathe when they come in here around me. You
Yeah.
can't take a drink, or they're all adults. They're lucky.
But that's why, and I'm gonna be honest with you, and I guess that's probably why none of my kids live here. Oh,
Dex,
Bingo. You got a choice: either deal with me or live on your own.
Right.
None of them live with me, so I guess they made a decision.
But if they paying rent, they technically living on their own, ain't they?
But ain't nobody paying rent because ain't nobody home. Because I was ready to get out and I was ready for them to go.
Listen, my wife will allow them to save money, but they going somewhere eventually on their own. So, yeah.
Okay, who is that? Somebody say they.
A lot of people said they let their daughter smoke in the house. So
No. No
Oh,
smoking or
Wait, I
drugs.
can see the comments.
Never on this
I can see
planet.
comments?
Brian.
yeah, all the comments, everybody saying it.
Okay, hold on. I mean, that's what I'm not chiming in because I don't
Crystal
know.
says she let her kids smoke in the attic.
And mine was in the garage, so I get that. I get it.
She lets her smoke in the room.
Mine was in the garage.
Well, the question would be, would you let anybody smoke a regular cigarette in your house?
In the garage.
I won't. None of that shit come in my house. Never.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you know.
Cigarettes in my garage.
Never.
Yes.
That knows
It's
because
my house.
it goes
not
in the
my
garage.
house. It's our house. But yes, we don't smoke in the house, but we smoke in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well,
But I don't
all
have
right.
children, so I'm not chiming in on that part. But the smoking part, you're not smoking in my fucking house.
Right.
So
I don't smoke in my
don't put no go at all. See, I get that. Listen, like I said, I can't do it because I never smoked anyway. So for me, I don't even like the smell of it. Listen, when my kids would smoke and they would come and go back and, you know, even if they took a shower and got into bed, I still smell that shit all over the house.
It's
You want to
strong.
hear something weird, Tony? After like 3.5 years, I got COVID, and one of the after things of the COVID, I always smell like I smell cigarettes. It's weird, and I don't smoke. I've never smoked.
Right.
It's like one of those things I could just walk in and like, wow, somebody that's smoking cigarettes or anywhere. It's like your smell is so off, but that's what I walked away from, which is crazy.
No,
Yeah,
and my
and you know,
taste buds changed.
I
I
can
think
smell
it's your
cigarettes from a mile away.
I think it's because I had COVID and my senses changed. My palate completely changed after COVID.
Now,
I'm trying to take my keyboard off, so I might have to jump off and jump back in.
all right, goodbye.
All right.
Yeah, that's weird. There's actually a name. There's actually a name for
Come on,
it.
wait till you come back, huh?
Wait, really?
Say it again,
That's what we're
Dex.
doing?
No, there's actually a name for it, where people lose their sense of smell, but it makes them feel like they always smell smoke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it changes your voice. You start talking raspy, like you literally smell cigarette smoke.
What? I feel like I smell it anyways, but I think I may have had that my whole life because I never liked it. My mother smoked cigarettes in front of me my whole childhood. So what up, Bailey?
When you don't smoke,
What's good, bro?
Ain't nothing,
you do have a
man.
smell.
I seen you chime in about you won't let nobody smoke in your crib. I get it.
What's going on, Dexter?
Hey, Sean, how are you?
I'm good, sir.
And this is real talk.
Everything's good?
My daughter,
Yes, sir.
and this is real
All right,
talk.
my brother,
daughter
looking well.
was weird because I just started drinking around them within the last 5 years. So, and I'm 52. So my kids, they like, it's weird to them for them to see me doing some of the things I do because I just started doing something. So smoking is definitely a negative.
Especially since you're a woman of the cloth.
Ever, Negro.
I'm gonna tell.
I'm not.
I'm gonna tell everybody.
Not in that deep. You know that.
So, Sean, you heard what it was. So you said no smoking in the crib, right? What if he pay rent or she pay rent?
No.
Still my crib. I don't care what you pay.
No.
It's my house.
Your name ain't.
No.
Rules are rules. I'm the same way, bro. I ain't doing it. I don't care if you pay the whole rent, the whole mortgage, whatever. You know, it's a no for me.
No.
I'm having a heat flash.
All right, let's move on. This is a
I'm
good one.
sorry, girl.
I've been looking
I've been
forward to
through
this
it.
one.
I know.
So listen to this. You have a sleepover. Your child has 5 kids sleeping over the house, right? They're having fun. You know, you having fun with them because obviously you're trying to be a good host for these children. While they're having fun, one of your your child's friends falls into your TV, 70-inch, 80-inch, whatever size it is, breaks your TV. What are you doing at that point?
Calling
How
his
you
mom
handling
and dad
that situation?
up and they buy me a new TV.
That part.
Serious? You will call the parents
Absolutely.
and tell them the son broke my shit?
Absolutely.
For real?
Your child broke my stuff. I need a new TV.
You can't do that.
Okay, but why not?
Because he having fun. It ain't like he tried to do it. Wasn't like he was aiming for the TV. First of all, if you probably got a TV, most people got TVs in their living room or their TV room or sitting room. Why would you?
Disagree with me?
They
I'm
should.
calling parents. I'm calling
If they're playing and having fun, why would you allow them to play around something expensive?
At the end of the day, I'm
Your
calling
child.
parents. I'm calling
If they
parents.
if they was in your son's room and they broke your son's 20-inch, are you calling the parents?
No.
Oh, so it's only my 70 that we give a shit about.
And I care about all of it. I ain't even gonna lie.
No. The 20
That's not right then.
I ain't worried about it.
I care about all of it.
Yo, you can't do that though, man. You allow these kids to come over. You got to damn that child proof the crib.
You asked the question.
Then you know what? Okay, then I'm gonna put a caveat. Here go my caveat. You know I'm good. Then parents are going to sign a form that if anything gets broken, damaged, they're liable.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. What if that child falls because you got a loose floorboard or something, and now that parent wants to sue you because her child got hurt in your house? Is she wrong?
No.
Why is she not? Why is she not wrong? I'm asking.
Because you've already took the consent of what you're allowing your child to do, and if this is what the rules are, and it's my fault, no, I got to eat that.
So just let me give y'all homeowners a little.
But I'm a homeowner.
So let me give y'all homeowners a little update.
If that child gets hurt on my property, I am reliable.
Listen to me.
They have to sue you.
I don't give a damn if it's a child, if it's an adult. Anybody come on your property, and if they get hurt, they can sue you. You do know that.
That's true.
Exactly.
That is true.
Yes.
Okay.
That is true.
Yes.
So,
However,
but here's the thing:
That's why
they have to sue you to get the medical bills and all of that. They have to sue you, which is your homeowner's insurance. So people take it personal. It's just business.
that part. Say that again, Sean. They have to.
It's business.
Right.
But here's the thing: like, so if a kid comes over my house and my kid's friends are over, the same rules apply. We play outside. They don't play around this. So if they playing around this or whatever, that means they disobeyed my rules. And yeah, I'm gonna have a conversation with the parent like, yo, that's a 70-inch right there. You know what I mean? Because they were told specifically not to do that.
And you obviously didn't want to reprimand them. You didn't want to punch him in the throat.
If that's my kid, and my kid broke that TV doing something he's not supposed to do, he's gonna get punished. I can't punish your kid, so I'm coming to you. How we work this out? Now I'm not even comparable to say, look, I wasn't monitoring them, so we go half on it or whatever. But you know what I mean? I'm willing to go that, but
now
I'm gonna have to let you know because I'm not like if I got a 70-inch television, and you know, if you had kids, you know, you turn your eyes for 2 seconds and then you hear something, it's over. You know what I mean? So like that's why y'all be in this area. So like you said, in my son's room, it's a 20-inch. You break that, okay? Well, y'all shouldn't have been doing what y'all doing, but I think nowadays these kids want to play inside the house. Go outside.
But the reason why I asked that question because kids don't go outside.
But they don't know how to go outside because they
Here's
don't.
the thing. I don't care how big your house is or how small your house is, man. 5 kids with energy, y'all going outside.
But Sean,
Listen.
Sean, but think about it. The kids now, they don't know how to go outside and play. Like, literally, I drive through my neighborhood and I can probably count on 2 fingers how many kids I see playing outside because they don't know how to play outside like generations before them. They don't know about going outside, riding bikes, roller skates, playing tag. There are certain things that they don't know because they have not been taught that.
That's parenting.
Oh,
That's
and
parenting.
I just want to say, by the
I
way,
agree.
by the way, when the 70-inch television gets broke, sleepover over.
You
Everybody's
got that
going home.
right. Say that again.
Y'all out.
Parents being called. Time to go.
Come with
Why?
your kid. Everything all right?
It's a
Yeah, everything all
wrap.
right with your kid. Everything
Not
all right with
sleep
your
over
kid.
though.
But let me also say this. If I have a 70-inch TV, this is just me. If I have a 70-inch TV, it's not in an area where they can get to it anyway. It's on a wall. It's mounted.
Yeah, but listen, I'm not saying it wasn't mounted properly, but at the end of the day, it can be knocked off the wall too, though.
I mean, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying
But
if
not
it's
only
that
that, you
possibility
can. I've
that
seen
it can't be
kids
knocked off
playing
the
with a
wall, then that's on
ball
me.
in the
That's
house. They
also
be
on
playing
me
with a ball
too.
in the house, and the ball will hit the TV that's on the wall, shatter, crack a TV. So
That's
either
true.
way, as we say back home, potty done.
So my man Blaze just teach them outside activities. I just said the reason why kids don't go outside is because of parenting. Because the only way they will learn that type of stuff is you teach them,
Right.
or give them some insight on what to do out there.
Right.
That's why these kids don't go outside, because their parents don't give a fuck. Some parents don't even want them to go outside because then they ain't got to get up off the chair to
They
look out
got
the
to
window
get
to
up
see what
and
the hell they
go.
doing.
Lazy.
That's lazy parenting that you don't send your kid outside. What's up, Dawn?
And
It's
even
lazy.
with
I
saying to
agree.
teach
I
them
mean,
outside activities, it's not
that's a
teaching them
whole
nothing. You pick up
nother.
a
That's a
football
whole
or a
nother issue.
basketball, and you go outside and you just start throwing the ball with them, running around. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't really teaching them nothing. They know how to play basketball, they know how to play football, but just taking them outside. And then you run them outside for 2, 3 hours or whatever the case may be. And most people with kids got a video game system. Get up there, but you still got to monitor that. It's 5 kids, like you said, 5. That's a lot.
But Sean,
I don't know if I
would
could
you
deal with
say
5 kids in the crib.
this? I'm
That's a
gonna
lot.
throw this in here. I think video games have made kids and parents lazy.
I don't. The reason I disagree with that
I'm
is
just
because
saying.
I grew up playing video games, so we would stay
I don't agree
outside
with
till we
that.
couldn't stay outside no. We would stay outside till we couldn't stay
Okay.
outside no
Reason
more. Then
why
we
I'm
would come
saying
in the
okay.
house and play video games.
The reason why I say that is because kids don't interact with one another like they used to. They don't. So when we grew up, we was always outside. We had video games, but not like they do now. We interacted with people in the courtyard. We walked down the block. We did different things. The kids, they don't have that interaction with their peers. And yes, Dawn, I agree. It is dangerous now, but there are certain communities where literally kids can interact with one another, and they don't do that anymore. I work in the school system, and I see how kids do not interact with one another. They don't know how. And that goes back to what Sean was saying. It's lazy parenting because they don't know how to talk to one another.
But let me ask you a question. Let's say you living in the house and you tell your son go outside and play, and he just sitting out there with nothing to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now Sean lives next door, and Sean sends his kid out and say go outside and play. And he's like, ain't nothing to do out there. Well, you go out there and you figure it out. Them two gonna be out there looking at each other like two fools, and they'll eventually figure out something to do together.
Or as
That's
parents,
just
you
how
move
it
out there
goes.
and show them what to do.
That's true, but that's what that go back to parenting. Sometimes a parent, you got to go out there and teach these kids what to do and teach them how to like it. Like that's why, and I hate to say it like this, but like what white parents, that anything that their kids do outside, they
They
usually with
do.
them.
Right. You're right.
But we
I've seen it
always say,
everywhere.
"Oh, I'm too tired after work," and you can't give your son or daughter 15 minutes outside time. You can't fit that in. That's the problem. I don't care how many hours a week you work. You should be able to fit that in. And
And
that's
it's
the
not
problem with
that.
our
Like
community.
when my son was coming up, like we would play
Okay,
Sean,
one-on-one
who's
basketball.
speak up a little bit, bro. I
sorry?
can't hear
Whose
you.
TV is that?
Yeah, I don't know. There's noise in the background that I'm hearing.
But go ahead.
Well, my son, when
Everybody.
playing basketball, I would go outside with him, and we would play one-on-one till he would beat me, and he would never beat me till he get tired. Then we go in the house, or I get tired, we go in the house. But guess what? We was outside for 3-4 hours. So now when he'd be like, Dad, you want to play ball? Nah. He knew to take that basketball, go outside and practice and shoot. He knew that, you know what I mean? So, yeah, where my son grew up, we lived in a subdivision where it wasn't a lot of kids outside, but he was able to go out there and self-entertain by stuff I taught him. So I agree with you, Cole. But I grew up in the projects. We didn't have a choice. My mother said, when you woke up, we got breakfast, you got fed, and it was like, go outside. But growing up in the projects, it was a community. So when I got outside, all my friends was outside, we found stuff to get into and do.
I grew up in the projects. So for me, my mother didn't have to send me out. My mother had to look for us. We 7 o'clock in the morning, we was already playing football, and somebody had next. So for me, and basketball, whatever sport we was playing, we was already out at 7 o'clock in the morning every morning. Nobody had to look for us. And we was already playing 2 or 3 games before the bus came for us to even get on the bus in the morning. So the problem with where I grew up was my mother had to find us at night because we was out all day. We figured it out. We didn't even have, I don't even know what happened to me being a child because I don't remember eating as a child. I was outside all day. I must have ate a million cakes growing up and candy, of course. But I'm saying that was my breakfast, lunch, and dinner because I never made it home. So my mother yelled out that damn window.
But that was
different now.
But that was,
I think,
a different era for us, Tony. You got to admit that was a different, because I think everybody and we can say for our community, like from First Avenue probably all the way to what, 2nd Clinton Street, that was a different. All of us, we were a close community. So we all did things up and down that street. Everybody did everything up and down that street. If you was not part of that community, you just wasn't part. But everybody knew you could walk somewhere because that was walking distance. That was what, 10, 15 minutes within radius for everybody. So that was different for us. All of us kind of grew up differently. But this generation right here, there are things, I feel, there are things that differently, that have made them lazy.
Plus, Dawn made a valid point. I don't know if y'all seen the point she made earlier. She said that it's dangerous.
yeah.
Especially for like a little girl that's playing out in the yard. She can get snatched up, you know.
Oh, absolutely. It is very dangerous.
But that's still lazy parenting. That's
It's
still
not lazy parenting. I feel like think times has changed, so it's different on so many levels. Like the kids have way more stuff to do inside than what we ever had. So it's like we was sitting there playing Atari and bullshit that takes forever. You get bored with it, so you outside. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I grew up in the project, so you come outside, the basketball court is right there. Your mother can look out the window and literally scream my name. My son got to walk up the hill to a park and then some to go play. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Kids be looking up their own shit. Like I said, he looked up in the area and was like, "It's mad pedophiles. I ain't going outside." So what I would say to that, like you right.
But if you go outside with him when he was younger, I'm not saying when he's older, but if you went outside with him when he was younger, then you obviously had somebody that could protect him from whatever the bullshit that might have went down.
When he was younger, I kept him outside. I bought mad stuff for him to go outside and play with. It's not like, it wasn't like that. We was outside all the time. He had 4-wheelers. He had all type of stuff to ride and play with. So he ain't want to get in the house. Now he older, them electronics take over. So he ain't thinking about outside. He rather be involved with friends.
I got to ask you a question. And Sean, I didn't ask you this because y'all was on late. I asked them earlier. Could you date, or let me put it to you this way. You're in a relationship with a man or a woman for 6 months. After 6 months, y'all in a relationship. Y'all y'all done obviously slept together, y'all done did everything. Y'all in a relationship now. Right. Now that person comes to you and tell you, like for you, Sean, that woman comes to you and says that she used to be gay or lesbian. Are you okay with continuing that relationship? And the same thing with you doing. You're dating a guy for 6 months, and after 6 months, he tell you that he used to be gay. Are you okay with continuing that relationship?
Why you laughing, Sean?
Or
why you laughing?
Cutting that relationship off?
You already know what I'm gonna say, right, Sean? That's why you laughing.
Nah, well, let me hear what you gotta say.
Yeah, go ahead, Don. Go ahead. Shock the people.
For a female, that's different. That's different. I mean,
Why is it different?
Hell to the no. That nigga take more dick than me. Hell no, we not getting ready to do this. I gotta worry about where he going. If he really shooting in the gym, hell no. Nope.
I was
No.
hanging with my boy. Was you? Is
Right.
he really your boy?
No. Was y'all playing balls or with balls?
Tony,
Hell
come
no.
on now. What's that
I'm good.
next question? Why did you do
Nah, because there's people that weren't here yet, so that's why I got to present it to them
They
too.
know yet.
So go on. Here's my
You know yet.
question.
You know when she was gonna go?
Hell
This is
no.
my question because I
Where she
presented
was
this.
gonna go?
I presented this earlier too. But there are men who do that obviously because they were gay at one point. But listen, it's the same thing if he was doing that same thing to a woman.
What?
Guys right now, there's men who are sleeping with women, they doing anal.
That's fine. It's a woman. That's not a man.
What's-
If you go out there and you want chest to chest, nigga, hell no. No. Fuck out of here. Dick and balls is different. You ain't wrestling.
You have to put it that way, dog.
You ain't
have to
wrestling
put it
with
that
a
way.
female.
You
Your ass
already
ain't
knew what
wrestling.
you were gonna get, so I don't even know why you even asked.
Yo, Don.
Y'all niggas
Pop,
ain't
never
wrestling.
disappointing. Pop, never disappointing.
So listen.
Right. That shit crazy. Hell no.
So everybody laughing at you, I don't know why, but listen.
You know why.
We not laughing.
You saying the same thing?
We
You
saying
deal
she
with
right.
it if you find out later on?
That nigga is gone. We both not sucking
Packing
dick.
fun.
Like, hell no. Like, what is going on here? Like, no. He's somewhere sucking dick. I'm sucking his dick. Hell no. Hell no.
I'm gonna say it again. Packing fudge. No,
that's
we're not doing
what I'm saying.
No.
Hell no.
It's
Now, if you want, it's
very
different with a
soft
female,
about
but you over here with a whole nigga tight up. Nah, nigga, no.
No, it's a no. It's a negative.
But what if he reformed though, Dawn?
Ain't that much reformed in the world. Your asshole's still open. Hell no. He gonna revert back and be like, babe, can you do this to me? Hell no.
Sean, could you continue to date a woman if she told you that after the fact 6 months later?
He gonna do
It'd
it.
be hard, like the same thing. It'd be hard because, like you said, man, the trust. I'm going on a girls' trip, really. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It'd be hard. Like, I'm different like that. Like, if I don't agree with it on the other side, I don't agree with it on that side either. So, it would be a decision because a lot of dudes be like, oh, that's cool.
A girl is more acceptable than two dicks fighting. I don't give a fuck what nobody says.
Thank you.
That's more acceptable.
My point
It's more
is
acceptable
exactly.
for,
That's
again,
true.
to each his own. Because
That's
that's
true.
how y'all feel. I knew what Dawn was gonna say, but to each his own. That's not like that ain't acceptable to me.
So
Might not
there are
be.
a lot of women who are dealing with that or finding out later on down the line, and some of them stick it out because they fell in love or they feel like that man ain't gonna go backwards because what they have is a good thing. It's out there.
But here's the thing, to
Ain't
each
that
his
much
own,
sticking
right? It
out. He
goes
gonna
back to
have
when we talked about
urges
that
sooner or
last
later.
time when we had the first conversation, like, oh, they vegan. Like, I determined, like, maybe that ain't cool for me because now that's a thought in my mind. You know what I mean? You like, oh, no dudes holler at her,
You know what
but
I said
shorties is
earlier?
hollering at her on
Now
the
it's in
low.
the back of my mind, yes. Because
Hell
it does
no.
become
Every
a mental thing.
every time that nigga asks you to, he do something to you, he gonna want you to do it to him. Hell fucking no. Pete, dick rocks. Nigga want to eat ass. Now I gotta turn to us. Can you eat ass? Hell fucking no, nigga. Don't even ask me no questions. Like, just get out. That shit is disgusting. Beat it.
So you just breaking it off that day when as soon as he tell you it's over.
Been over, and I'm being so damn mad that I even did half the shit I did with you. And you gonna tell me that you used to be gay? Fuck out of here. What?
Yo, there was a scenario where Shorty broke off the wedding because she found out her fiance was gay in college or whatever, or experiment.
Yeah, I just watched
It would have been a wedding. It would have been a wedding and a funeral all in one day. It'd have been a lot of smoke singing and flower bringing. Hell no, that's crazy.
I saw that, Sean. She called the wedding off, and they
That's why I brought this up.
I just saw it, and like literally, and one of the comments that I read was, "If you so angry, that means that you're still emotionally attached." That's one of the comments, and I'm paraphrasing. And I really agree with that, because if you got to argue that point, because one thing about the truth, you don't have to argue it at the end of the day. So
But
if that's not
there was a deeper conversation about it where, like, that's why so many men is on the DL, because it's acceptable for women but not men.
But it's acceptable, and Sean, I'm agreeing with you. because it is acceptable for women.
That's why you gotta do those tests.
That it's okay. But we look
Wait,
at
Dawn,
it,
what you say?
not
I
all
gotta hear
men,
this. Dawn, what you
not
say?
all women, not all. I'm just listen. Hear me out.
That's why you gotta do
Not all
those
men
testing,
look at it
niggas.
like
That nigga let you go a little bit too far by that asshole, something wrong. Something wrong.
So you gonna check him
I'm
in?
gonna check him in, make sure.
Yeah, you.
If that nigga's enjoying it, something wrong. You got to go, bro.
Right, mess around and get punched in your forehead.
So
I
right.
rather get punched because I know you ain't going there. I rather
So
get
what if
punched.
you found out? What if y'all found out
Oh, hell,
after you already got married and he ain't even the one that told you? You found out in the street. Then what are you doing?
But that's okay. But marriage.
Anybody in the street, I probably wouldn't believe it. I don't know. Because
But then you brought it to his attention and he says, "Yeah, I used to be that." Then
Okay,
what?
but that's a different. Now we're talking about a story. Because when you're just dating, it's different from a marriage.
So you're married now. What are you doing?
Ooh, that's not.
I'm doing the same shit I'm doing if we dated. You
No,
can
that's
cut
not
the
a
fuck
no,
off.
because now you've taken
cut off.
vows and this is me.
The
You've taken
vows don't mean
vows,
shit. He playing with ass. The fuck?
but marriage is different.
Them vows don't mean shit. That nigga is playing with ass. Ain't no vows at this point. Them shit is out the window. Fuck out of here. Them shit is over. Big over.
Now I'm not saying that. Maybe I can call it irreconcilable differences.
Ain't no reconcilable nothing. That nigga wants you to play with his tickle his prostate. Hell fucking no. That shit is over. Over. Bye. Go find that dude you was with. It ain't here.
So you just falling out of love as soon as you hear about it, Dawn.
I've been out of love. The thought I've been out of love. The fuck? Love don't live here. Shit. Love
So you
don't
just
live
going,
here.
you going right to the lawyer's office. You saying when you find
If
out?
I make it, because I'm about to wild out in my household first.
What she said,
I'm
she going to the insurance man. She going to the insurance man.
Exactly. I'm
That's
up
what
that
she's
shit,
saying.
and then I'm going crazy.
But let me ask
That's
you this, and this is
what?
something that's really prevalent in Atlanta, right? Like, go, I'm gonna give you a situation.
Don't start him up again.
Hold up. So you joint pros.
Don't start him up again, Sean.
Sean, you joint pros. Say it all over again, Sean, because you joint pros. Whoa. We can't hear you now. Your mic went out.
It's muted.
Come on, say you have technical difficulty.
You dating a young lady. Now let's not the physical
Shit, man.
yet, but you listen, you getting feelings and all of this and that and this, and it's going that next level. And this young lady comes in and was like, I was born a man, but I have all female parts.
You gonna
I've
beat
had
her
the
up.
surgery, I've had the surgery, I've converted, I've done all of that, but I used to be a man. What say you, my boy?
That nigga up.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you like this.
Get a lot of time.
Huh?
Exactly.
I'm gonna get
You
a
gonna
lot of
beat that
time.
nigga ass. I know you gonna beat that nigga ass.
But they got all of the female parts. They had the full surgery. They've been.
Oh,
I'm
well,
going jail.
still a nigga.
It's not the same.
If we already slept together?
No. You're
Oh,
about to.
Before that? Oh no, she get a pass. I'm just out of there. But if we slept together, did she bring it on me?
I've been kissing.
I'm gonna get
you oral.
a lot of
Nigga, you gonna
time.
beat her up. Shut up.
I'm get a lot of time. I promise you.
Sonny, say that again. I didn't hear you.
I said if we never slept together, ain't nothing gonna happen. I'm just out of there.
Okay.
But if we slept together, did she spring it on me after the fact? I'm getting a boatload of time. I promise you, I'm getting a boatload of time. Ain't nobody gonna see me no more.
What if dudes done seen you around town with him?
I ain't even running. I'm doing what I gotta do, and I'm waiting for the police to show up.
Okay. Okay, but okay. Here go my caveat. Because I know.
No, ain't no caveat.
No caveat on this note.
I'm beating this dude up.
No,
I'm beating this dude up.
What?
I know somebody. Okay, I know someone who lived that lifestyle, who was a male, and
Me too.
he chose to live the life as a female, and he was soliciting himself as a female, and he lost his life.
Yeah,
so you got
because he wasn't telling dudes probably.
Right. So you got to be careful. My point is, you got to be careful because you don't know someone else's mental status.
Be careful. You got to be honest, and that's his problem. He should have been honest and told dudes like, "Yo, I'm a dude, whatever the case may be." But you want a lot of people, so you want to play games. So somebody wasn't having.
But it also, but yeah, I say that all like to say because you have to be honest. I agree with you, but at the end of the day, I don't think you should deceive anybody because that is a form of deception.
You should do what?
We fighting. We fighting. There's not like no.
Yeah, you
It
think
ain't
what?
never gonna be no rah
agree,
rah. It ain't gonna
Sean.
be no
I
rah
agree.
rah.
I
It's gonna be
agree.
real silent. I'm
So,
gonna walk
so
up. You're gonna
here's
think
a
I'm cool
question
with it,
now.
and I'm taking your head off your shoulders.
So here's a question for all of y'all now. Since we put that out there, do you feel that that's a question, and is it an okay question to ask on the first date?
But
If you get,
why should you not ask that?
I'm
My
not gonna
question is,
ask no man that, but if he show tendencies, you damn right, I'm gonna ask that nigga like, bro, what's good with you? You all right? I see a
There's
little
nothing wrong
twist.
with asking somebody their sexual preference. There's nothing wrong with asking somebody their
I'll
sexual
put it like
preference.
this. I'm gonna say this.
I don't think so.
If he show tendencies, by all means. If he twisted more than you twist, something wrong. I'm gonna be like, bro, you good? Like, everything right now?
He twisted.
He twisted, right? He talking to you with his fingers, like he like, all that. No, I'm good. Ain't
Like
like nothing in
going
there.
like this.
Yes, I'm good.
But here's the thing: there's plenty of dudes, hardcore, thugged out, big muscular dudes, and they
That's okay.
taking a banana in the tailpipe. They're
Listen,
taking a banana in
everybody
the
got a
tailpipe.
photo.
They be
So,
undercover too, though, Sean. They
late
you right.
night,
They be
late night when it's just us two and we into it, I'ma test that manhood. If he like keep going, you got to go. I'm good. The nigga gonna let you go, but so far.
Yo, you know, one of my favorite rappers is DMX. You know how heartbroken when I was like, and I really started listening to his lyrics. I was like, yo, X was saying some real questionable stuff, man. Like,
yeah, I did
They
hear
all
that.
say
He was
some
saying
questionable
stuff
stuff.
about
Bro.
What's up,
I
Dawn?
heard him.
No, not you, Dawn. It's another
X was
Dawn.
consistent with it.
So listen, I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story. In the car business, you meet a lot of people. I met this young kid who came and bought a car from me, and then 2 years later, he came back to buy a car as a woman. And I didn't notice who he was until he told me. And it fucked me up when I found out. Because I was like, first of all, I didn't believe it when he was telling me who he was. And I'm like, yo, wait, I know a guy with that same name. And he's like, no, it's me. And I'm like, what the fuck you mean it's you? And, you know, I mean, I'm in the dealership cursing and everything because I'm like tight because I'm like, and he told me shit. He literally did the whole sex change from a man to a woman for a guy. He married a rich guy and he did it for the guy. Like, it wasn't like he did it because that's what he wanted to do for himself. Because I asked him, I said, what will make you do it? He says, well, he wanted me to do it, so I did it for him. And I said, but if he didn't want you to do it, would you have never done it? He said, no. So I'm like, damn, like
That's mental. That's self-esteem. Think about it. Because if his self-esteem that was that low, that he couldn't make decisions on his own.
I don't think
I
that
asked him all of that shit. I asked him all of that
I
shit.
think that was
And
that nigga was about to take care of him. That's why he did what he did. That thing was like a more money wise in his mind. If he go do what he got to do, the dude gonna take care of him. So
I mean,
that's how he
had everything done too, by the way. Everything. He had the joint shaved off, everything. So, but here's the thing that's crazy though. I asked him when he at the end of the story, he told me it was the best thing he ever did though. He liked being who he was now as opposed to who he was.
And goes back to what I said.
Because he probably was that way to begin with, but at the same time, he just helped him along his journey.
But I'm gonna be honest with you.
I think so too because he was already dating a guy. They were both two men dating each other before he had to change.
Yeah.
So I think he just probably wanted to already go there.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, I guess.
It was weird though.
In this new age world, all of that's cool. Like, we grew up in the city. You go to the village, you see anything.
Yeah, I've seen it all, bro.
You've seen it all in the village. But like back in the day, that wasn't like a dude dressing up like a chick and deceiving dude. Like they'd be ran out of town. Like,
better not. You gonna get
but
your
now
behind.
it's love. Yeah, but now is love is love. Do what you do. But you do have a responsibility to inform someone. This is who I am. Make a decision.
But that's the key right there, informing someone as opposed
to
living a lifestyle.
Come on, let's move on. Let's move on. Next topic.
Another topic.
You're married to someone. Y'all both got children outside of your marriage.
Right.
Would you allow
your new spouse to reprimand, whether it's spanking or even if it's just putting them on punishment, your children?
No, because I'm not even spanking them. So he's not gonna do
Say
no
it
more
again,
than what
man?
I said no, because he's not gonna do no more than what I'm doing. I'm not even spanking them. So you could talk to them, yeah, you can reprimand them, but you're not gonna spank them.
What about putting them on punishment?
I'm fine with that. You can put him on punishment. If he doing something he got no business doing, you can put him on punishment. Long as
How you feel about that, John?
justifiable, it's okay. But don't be putting my kid on punishment and nobody else on punishment. Like, we ain't gonna keep doing that. But if it's justifiable, sure, by all means, put him on punishment.
I'm from the school of it depends, right? So if it's a daughter, like I'm not hitting no girl because I like Dawn. I'm not gonna hit my daughter. So I'm not doing that. Reprimand and punishment and all of that. But my son, I'm like, if it's your son, yeah, this little dude got to learn. Like, yeah, he would catch it just like my son would catch it. But like Dawn said, he gonna get the same work my son would get. I'm not gonna treat him differently. I'm not gonna punish him harder than I would punish my son. So you'd have to see me punish my son, and then punch. You had to see me punish my son, and see me punish then punish your kid. And you'd be like, oh, that's what he do.
What's up, cuz?
I'm from answering this because I have
Champagne, how you doing? Say it again.
I'm a decline for because I've never been married, so I've never been in that situation.
You ever live with a guy?
Nope.
Okay. So you can't answer. All right. So let me just give you a little backstory on me. I never would let anybody reprimand any of my children. No way, shape, or form. I don't give a fuck. I always would it like with my baby moms. I usually knew the dudes, or if I didn't, I met them and we had a conversation. And it was, you could call me at 3 a.m. I will fix that shit for you. Just call me. You can't do it. Give me a call. Because if you do it, now it's going to create friction between us. And I ain't coming back to tell you and to ask you why you did it when you knowing up front that I'm against the shit. So that's the way I rolled, always operated like that. And I'm telling you, I have a great relationship with anybody that's ever dated like someone that my baby moms, or like I'll give y'all a name in particular because that's my man, and we've actually gotten more closer because of that situation, which is Fats. My man Fats, that's with Dory, with my son Shaq. He actually helped me more than it was, by calling me about things that she wouldn't call me about. You know what I mean? Because she didn't want, I'm not saying she didn't want our son to get in trouble, but the bottom line is Fats, he would hit me up. Your tone was good, man. Listen, man, you might want to call the school. I'm on it. Or yo, you over here wilding out, and I'd be right there. You know what I'm saying? So it actually, we grew closer because after that we go out drinking, we go bargain, we chop it up, and we hung out a little. We hung out even before that, but at the end of the day, like, we even became closer because of it, because he understood the respect factor of all he had to do was call me and it would be taken care of anyway. And he didn't have to look like the bad guy for trying to reprimand somebody else's kid.
That's fine, but in my household, my kids act like me. So they're going to need that level of respect to build right there in the household. So if the man can do everything else, take care of them and do everything else, I feel like he could be able to discipline them, but he ain't going to put his hands on them. That's what I don't agree with. But he can't tell them, like, yo, you supposed to be doing that. Your mother know you doing that, whatever case may be. But you're not going to be, if it becomes a pattern and it's excessive, then that's different. But if you just doing regular shit and you punish him for he ain't take out the garbage, you be like, yo, I'm gonna take your game away or something like that. I don't got a problem with that.
Yeah, but that's a problem too, because taking the game away, he may not respect that dude just because he with his moms. He might be like, because listen, I didn't respect when me and my moms and my father got divorced, and a new man came in the house. He got zero respect, zero. I give a damn because I didn't like the fact that he was there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the bottom line is, if he told me he was taking my game away, I was like, I know you. I ain't worried about that. I called my father. I know you're not doing that. So, and he had to just rock with that. You know what I'm saying? Because he
level of respect. Like, I'm not gonna have him where you only respect the man when he's spending money on you, but you can't respect him when he tell you something to do. That's not right either.
I'm just telling you my side of it. So I mean, I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm telling you me. When I was growing up as a kid, my mom had somebody new in her life. Nah, because and I'm not saying my father was a threat, but he showed it changed his tune when I told him that. So, you know, that's all that mattered to me. And I took my game. Now my mom's man came and fucked me up because she heard the story. But at the end of the day, I didn't disrespect him. I just was like, no, you're not. I'm gonna call my dad. Right. And that was it. And that all that shit went away until my mother came.
That's disrespect.
Husband, I think
I agree with you. I'm not saying it's not.
No, I'm saying
I'm telling you what it is, bro.
You got some women that change men like they change drawers. And I don't feel like that nigga should be disciplining nobody. When it comes to that.
That's that woman. Then that's
but you do with that woman. You have some women that's on that type of time.
No,
I had a cousin like that. I'm like, everybody that she brought in the house call him daddy. He disciplined her kids. I'm looking at her like, are you serious?
I guess I can speak from a simple fact that I did have a stepfather that was my father in my life.
He was a good nigga.
Majority of my life, and he could discipline me. But that was because I also had the absence of my biological father. But with that being stated, I never looked at him any differently than my biological father because he was there. So, like,
now, when you say the absence of your biological father, was he just not there, or was he deceased?
He was incarcerated.
Okay.
He was incarcerated. So, with that being stated, he was incarcerated probably until I was almost 30 years old. So, with that being stated, I knew my father, which was my quote unquote stepfather, but that was my father. That's who I knew as my father.
Right.
And with that man, I had to fear Jesus in me. And Tony, you know that.
Like in my situation, we had a stepfather too, but he used to be killed. Like he wouldn't say nothing. So if he said something to you, you really was doing something for him to say something to you. So that's why I'm like, you know, everybody not coming in your household on no bullshit. My stepfather was mad, laid back, and chill. And at the end of the day, you have to really get on his nerves for him to be like, sit your ass down.
So I dated a girl one time who had children, and she wanted me to reprimand them, but I didn't. I called the father whenever they got out of line, right. And I let him know, and he was like, "Yo, bust their ass," and I felt like I felt like he was being lazy, number one, but then number two, I felt like because he didn't come over when I was telling him what the situation was, he was like putting it off on me. I felt like he was like
passing the buck,
like his parenting duties just wasn't there.
Right.
You know, and I grew to knew that over a period of time anyway. But like they gave me the nod right out the gate, and you know it was hard to do, but I did it. But it was hard to do at first because I'm like, damn, I don't even feel right doing this shit. But you know, and like those children to this day, they never call me dad because I wouldn't let them do that because they had a father that was actually in their life. But to this day, they respect me way more than they respect their father, and it bothers me, man. And I almost feel like that, just the fact of me reprimanding them and probably giving them that father figure that he wasn't pulling his load with is the reason why I get more respect. They call me to this day, like, I mean, they call me Pops, but they call me Pops because they say I'm old, but not because they call me like their fathers, man, because I wouldn't let them do that. But like they call me for advice. They call me because they had children. They call me about everything. I'm invited to everything they do for their children. I'm almost like a grandfather, and it's all because the mother and gave me the nod to whoop their ass. You know what I'm saying? And I did it. So it was a respect factor that I felt I gained. And again, I didn't do it without putting it out there to the father first. Though I was like, you know, I let him know up front what the deal was. And he was like, "Yo, man, handle that for me, please." That's really the way he said it. And I was like, "So, yo, you want me to whoop him?" He's like, "Yo, bust their ass, man. I ain't there right now, man. You in that house. Like, take care of it for me, man. I respect that." And I'm like, and he also felt like I was a good dude too. Like I wasn't just gonna be busting the kid's ass for no reason or doing it because I just feel like doing it because they, you know, because I'm drinking or something. But you know, so and I always let him know. It wasn't like even when it happened 6 months later, I was like, "Yo, man," I still gave that phone call because you know I ain't know if he was gonna feel differently about it later on down the line. You know what I mean? So I always gave that respect and it turned out good.
You're not gonna beat my, but you can't punish him. here and there.
But like I said,
but I ain't gonna be calling.
Next topic. Next topic.
I ain't gonna be calling their own punishment every day. That ain't gonna work either.
Say it again.
I said if it was vice versa, I don't care. You're not gonna beat my kids, but you can punish them. But I'm not gonna be calling the dad every day and they on punishment. That ain't gonna work either. Because you know your kids too.
Okay.
Okay.
Sean, you need another topic.
I got an easy topic for y'all. This is easy, but it's actually more difficult than y'all think.
What?
Your child is in school. Your child comes home with their first marking period, all C's. What do you say to them, and how do you handle that?
I don't think you want to ask the educator. I'm gonna be quiet.
Well, I want to hear your side of it too, because you was a parent also.
Well, I'm gonna whoop their ass because I be giving the sensitives in my house, like to make it to the honor roll and stuff like that. So 9 times out of 10, they be fighting to get to the honor roll when they was younger, like trying to get. They wanted to 250, but if you just in school doing nothing, what are you doing? Why you got C?
The C is passing.
Nah, I'm still gonna beat your ass. It's supposed to be higher than that for me.
What about you, Sean?
I'm
gonna sit down and understand why we get no C's, right? Like the course load, the classes can be tough, and we're gonna sit down on that next marking period and set up a plan to make sure we get those C's up. Even if it's one letter grade, that's improvement. It's real difficult because I've dealt with situations like this. Kids come home with bad grades and you just on them. You trying to like, why you ain't learning? Kid may be dyslexic. Don't get it the right way.
Yeah, no problem.
Don't step ahead of me, Sean, because I'm coming back to that. But that's a good point.
Typically, they not diagnosed with nothing. I'm busting ass.
So
it's not even
what about
that.
you, Nene?
It could be they're being bullied in school and they're not paying attention. They're just doing enough.
Because I have a twofold answer.
You got
to realize.
But you give it to me as a parent, though. We ain't talking about as an educator, because you can't. Your job as an educator is to make sure they don't get C's anyway. So we talk about
what the bottom of those comments
as a parent.
It depends what those comments say. If the comments say he's being a clown, an ass, I'm gonna bust that ass. If it say he might need a little more help, then that's different.
However,
it's for the comments.
Okay, so there's a couple of things, couple of things I can look at. Sean took part of what I was going to talk about, because as a parent, I have to look at it, and it's hard for me to separate the educator from the parent. But as a parent, I have to look at it. One, what am I doing at home to ensure that that's being reinforced? That's one thing. Two, I also have to look at it. How am I collaborating with the educators or communicating with the educators or the teacher to ensure that I'm delivering the same thing that my child is learning at home than what they're doing in school? Three, is there a problem? Possibly, does the child have a disability? So there's a whole different, this question to me, that's why I said I may not need to answer this question because I could probably go in.
But that's what's wrong. That's what's wrong with a lot of our kids too, though. These schools in different places are diagnosing our kids with stuff that they don't even got. Half of them, you can't even tell they have this stuff. Hold on. Half of them, they diagnosed with ADHD and other stuff like that.
But
and you can't really tell what they have until they hit a certain age. So if a kid is a certain age and you tell him he got ADHD, you don't even know yourself because you can't diagnose him until you're like 14, 13, something like that.
True. That's not true.
It is for some level of ADHD.
No, I work in special education. That's not true, sweetie.
And I work in mental health for kids all day, so I know what I'm talking about. Certain levels you can't diagnose them. So I'm not gonna listen to you. If my kid can come home and do your homework with no problem, why he can't sit down in school and do your work?
Just because he's doing his homework don't mean it's right.
That part.
But it might be right. That's what I'm saying. If he's going to school and he's bringing it back and it's right, why he can't do the same thing in school?
There is.
Just because you diagnose him might not be right either. But I'm not gonna sit there and dope him up because you think he got ADHD or whatever he don't.
Dawn, ADHD is not diagnosed by
or dyslexic. Y'all be thinking they dyslexic. Or they
diagnosed by school that's diagnosed by a medical
The
doctor.
schools be saying that a lot of kids is on the spectrum that's not even on the spectrum.
Autism is diagnosed by the medical doctor.
Autism is also suggested by schools too.
No, they can say
Yes.
they display characteristics, but they don't say that they're autistic. That's from a medical doctor.
I disagree with you, Nivea.
I'm telling
Because a lot of
you can
Nivea,
disagree with, but
a lot of the the decisions are made from school nurses.
we can't.
School nurses and IEPs. IEPs and school nurses.
You are. Let me.
Like, and I agree with her. The school can make a suggestion, but that's a medical
Those medical
diagnosis.
diagnoses cannot come from a school
Can't
district.
come from a
They
school.
come from a
It
medical doctor.
could be made. That's just like a school can suggest that a kid is getting abused. They can't say the kid is getting abused. They can say we think they're getting abused, and they call CPS.
No, they say
the school can say that we think this kid may be on the spectrum or whatever the case may be, and then they refer or have a medical person come in. Now, what a lot of people are missing is some schools have medical professionals inside of the school.
Where?
Psychiatrists or whatever the case may be.
Where?
And then you have, as a parent, like in Georgia, they all in Georgia. They have psychologists in middle schools and high schools in Georgia.
Okay, that's Georgia. I said where? Here. Because I know here. Ain't none of that shit here.
Pause, because now y'all talking to, because I work in special
I'm talking about here.
No.
I don't give a fuck what you do there.
Wait a minute, please. Wait a minute. A psycho-educational evaluation is always done from a psychologist, and that's federal law. That's federal law. Now you're talking into my
We talking about ADD and ADHD. I don't care what you're talking about.
I just said dyslexia. That's all. I just want to be known. I just said dyslexia. I ain't say nothing about no ADHD.
Huh?
ADD and ADHD is diagnosed from a medical doctor.
Not up here.
Wait a minute. They will give certain tests. They will give certain tests and certain rating scales to parents and teachers to fill out and say, hey, this is what this is showing. We're not diagnosing that. However, you need to take this information that we provided to you to a medical doctor. Those are the ones who literally say that child has been diagnosed with ADD or ADHD.
Do you see how you sound? Right. So you're telling me the nurse gonna fill out an evaluation of your child, and that person's gonna send it. Let me finish. And now you gonna send that shit to a doctor. He gonna read what the nurse wrote and says, you know what, this child got ADHD based on what you wrote.
No,
but the nurse decided it.
Okay, I'm not. Listen,
it's gonna trump everything.
A nurse can't write an evaluation. She can only consider a rating scale. She does.
Yeah, but what she rates on the scale will trump everything.
No.
Of course, you want the kid to be. If she.
No.
Yes, what she writes on that scale will trump everything.
Let me finish.
They got an IEP.
They don't do one person's rating scale. They do a rating scale. You can't say that because a rating scale is done from a school perspective, and that can be anybody in the school that literally has interactions with that child. And the other part comes from the parents. And both of those scales can vary differently. So now you take those rating scales and say, hey, we've conducted this. However, they don't have to necessarily look at that. And just like the doctor, there's two-way communication. The doctor can say they see things, and the parent can say they see things, and they send it into the school, or vice versa. And it's rating scales. So when you combine the two informations together, that's where the diagnosis comes from the medical doctor.
But the school nurse writes.
I'm telling you, the crock of shit for what you're talking about. Because what it is up here is way different than what it is down there.
We do scales. We do scales where I work, right? We do mental health scales where I work. What we say on that scale trumps anything that anybody else say. That's the same thing.
Exactly.
I don't have to argue that because that's what I know. I do it every day.
Okay, and I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know too. When you take scales, and it depends on your position and your level, it trumps the regular person taking the scale or whatever, a parent's scale. It's going to trump it automatically.
That nurse sends it to a doctor, no matter what the parent puts on the paper, that doctor's signing off on whatever that nurse puts.
That's the same thing when you do mental health stuff. If I suggest you're suicidal, they go off of what I said.
Mental health health and mental health and special education realms inside of the school. Mental health is not.
Mental health plays a big part in the
serious?
school. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mental health and special education is two different things you said?
Yes, in school system. In the school system, listen to what I said. Special education has 13 categories. Mental health is not up under any of that.
So when they get on when they got that helmet on the school bus, that ain't a form of mental.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
I'm asking the question. I'm not laughing. I'm dead ass. If you got on the short bus with the helmet and they made you put that helmet on because you banging your shit up against the window while the man is driving,
okay, but
that's not mental. That's special.
Okay,
that's not mental.
Education.
And you in the class accordingly.
That's not mental.
Special education is a whole.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to lie, but
as I
stated,
stated,
you bang your head on the window while I'm
there are 13 categories.
You on some semantic bullshit right now. If the motherfucker got a helmet and he go to class, it's mental and special. It ain't one or.
No.
It ain't no either or. Fuck out of here.
No, everybody got ADHD. He got ADHD breaking his head. The fuck?
But I will also say, okay, and let me put this caveat in.
No, because I gotta finish my shit.
Caveat.
Listen to me. Just because a child has ADHD, that does not mean they qualify for special education services.
It does not, but they will group them and put them in there because they feel like in some schools. Listen, I work with a lot of hard to play schools, and a lot of hard to play schools they will lump them in there.
That is illegal.
It might be, but they still will lump their asses in there.
Okay, let me make my point real quick so we can move on. The reason why I brought this topic up because a lot of y'all was saying some of the things that I disagree with, which is reprimanding a child for coming home with a C. There are some people like myself who it took me time to get better at school. I was working my ass off and couldn't get past the C no matter how hard I tried. So it wasn't that I was having a learning disability. It wasn't that I was stupid. I just, there's also ways to study. And I just had a problem with, getting off track. Like I could be reading an entire book, but while I'm reading that book, if the TV's on at the same time, I remember everything that fucking was on the TV and don't remember anything that was in the book. So I had a learning disability of my own, which was I could get very easily distracted. The reason why I'm saying that is also because, again, I did a little research on this topic before I even brought it up, which is there are children who can only get a C because that's their learning capacity. So if that's their learning capacity and you whooping their ass into an A or B, that's the wrong thing to do. Your child can only learn at that level or whatever it is that the curriculum is at the time. That's all he can obtain and work with right now. Not saying he may not learn to get better, because the further you get up in high school, usually kids like even myself that had a learning disability like that, it was in elementary school and even a little bit of junior high. Once I got in high school, my whole thing, everything changed for me. I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know when it happened or how it happened, but my grades shot through the roof. And it just got easier, I guess, because I got older. I learned how to study. I had a bunch of white friends too. But the bottom line is, things got better for me, and I don't know when the change happened or what occurred for it to happen. I just know that my life changed completely because of that. And I was never better than that, and I did all the work possible to become better than that, and I just couldn't pass it.
But it goes back to what I said, like, that's why you sit down, come up with a plan. The plan was you're studying, but the TV's on, so you're not focusing. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So now that we adapt that, and again, if you giving everything you got, and we putting in a plan, and we doing all of this, and you're getting C's still, because like you said, you got past the C's. So that's what it is. Another thing I wanted to say on this, and I know I'm probably gonna get attacked for this. I don't believe rewarding kids for getting good grades. Like, that's what you're supposed to do.
Say it again.
Why am I giving you a reward for doing something you're supposed to do? You pat me on the back when you come in, and when you come in and you cut the lights on, you saying, "Attaboy, Daddy, way to go." Or when you open up the fridge and there's food in there, you saying, "Yo, way to go." No, that's what you're supposed to do. All you do is go to school.
Hold on.
You're supposed to go to school.
But my kids was doing it like every semester, so why not get them that extra push? Nothing wrong with that.
Again, like that's on you.
To add to what you were talking about, because if we're talking about in the level of education, so it is a certain thing. It's called developmental age. So as a child, when you're growing, your brain is still developing. So there are certain things that's not developed fully to literally equate to learn, quote unquote, traditionally as quote unquote what we think should happen. So I'm definitely agreeing that that may be the best that that child can do at that time, because they're developmental milestones. So at the end of the day, you have to take that in equation. But if we don't talk about that and know about that, there's nothing we can be like, why you not doing this? Why you not doing this? Why you got a D here? Why you got a C here? But we have to also understand the developmental milestones that our kids should be reaching. And also studies have shown that 99% of Americans, guess what reading grade we read? Believe it or not, we don't read any further than the 8th grade level. There is nothing, we don't read any further than that. So we just expand upon it, but we don't read any further because there's nothing that's been proven to read above that. So we just expand upon it and grow on it. But at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with us. It's just the developmental milestones. One child may take a year to get to a milestone, wherever another child may take 9 to 18 weeks. So we have to look at it like that.
That's fine.
So that's why I say I might not be the best person to talk about this part.
That's fine. But I don't see nothing wrong with giving my kid an incentive. They do it in school. So what the hell? If I want to give you an incentive to excel, because I feel like school is first. If I feel like school is first and I want to give you an incentive to excel, of course I'm going to do it. I don't care who don't like it. Let me tell you something.
No. I agree. I agree with incentives too, and I'll tell you why. Because you're right. The schools do it too. You get an A, they put a star on your shit. Everybody else ain't got a star with it. That's got to be. They may give you something in the class because you got everyone that got an A. They may let you sit at the front of the class. They may do all this other shit. They do all kind of things in school to incentivize you for getting that A. But I also agree in incentivizing an A because, listen, you got to do a little bit more than just study to get an A.
Exactly. And she keeps
everybody can be B and C all day.
Exactly.
Listen, you could be a C student nowadays and not even fucking look at the book. But at the end of the day, you're working for that A. That A is work.
I have 4 kids on the honor roll, Dean's List, and all. You think I'm mad about giving them incentives? Hell no. All 4 of them on the Dean's List.
And here's the thing, Dawn. Like, I'm not attacking.
No, I'm
just telling you what
I'm saying, though. That's your personal
I don't believe in that.
But
like,
if I know they like money, that's where I'm going to hit them at. All right?
Now, you get this point. You get the kids when it comes to A's, though.
Huh?
I've done it. And I think it was the best thing for me because it also because I incentivized my children, I'm not gonna speak for everybody, it made them want to stay at that level.
Exactly.
So for me, the little bit of the benefit that I put out of pocket for them, because they could have went in another direction because if I stopped giving it to them or I never gave it to them, they would just get B's and trying to chase that A, and they never got to that A because it wasn't, I'm not saying it was acceptable, but the bottom line is you incentivize them, they want to stay there. Yeah, and that's probably why your kids was Dean List or A students all the way through, because you incentivize them to stay there. And I agree with you. I'm not saying nothing wrong with that. I mean, and I'm not saying nothing wrong with you.
This a little bit. When does the incentive stop? When they get to college?
We
still paying them for A's? So you still giving them rewards for A's?
Let me tell you something. It actually stopped when she got to high school. But by then, she was already trained to keep doing it. She already wanted to do it. So by high school, she's been doing it. Now she's in college and still on the Dean's List doing it. Still on the Dean's List.
Okay, I'm going to just say this. As a single parent, just me, I can only...
I'm a single parent.
I
was doing it.
I can only speak for myself. That's all I'm saying. I'm speaking for myself. I never incentivized my kids to get good grades. And I'm going to be honest with you. I can say honestly, out of my kids, and I have 3, all of them went to college.
That's fine.
I mean, wait a minute, let me finish. And I never, and all 3 of them got scholarship. So it's not about incentivizing. For me, it's what I expose them to. Being able to see different things. So me exposing my kids to see certain things, it gave them a different aspect of certain things they knew they had to.
So give us an example of what you exposed them to. I'm curious.
For me, I felt like this. There was a lot going on when they was growing up. So to stay focused and do what you got to do, you damn right that is sensitive help.
No, I agree with that. I mean, listen, just because they don't,
and
that's fine.
Here's the thing, like
listen.
the incentive method that you have, like, oh, if you get on honor roll or whatever, his 250 or whatever the case may be. Now that I'm sitting here processing it, my son, whatever he asked for, he got because his grades were at a certain level. But see what I'm saying? So on top of that, so once them grades stop, all of that stuff stops.
So
yeah, stop.
He was incentivizing him, Sean.
That's
what I'm saying. So that's what I just said in a way. But I'm talking about like, oh, if you come on home on the honor roll, I'm gonna give you 250 plus. I'm gonna go out and buy you this game. Plus, I'm gonna go out and buy you the new Jordans.
No, I'm not saying
that wasn't
you
happening.
Got that 250 to do whatever.
That wasn't gonna happen with that D though.
250 to do whatever. So that also makes the other kids in the household work harder too to get it.
So was that 250? So if they got that 250, if they said I want a new game system, you say, well, I just gave you 250, go get it with that. Would you say that?
Basically, she was like the Jew. She used to save her money. So at the end of the day, I knew what she was doing. She was saving her money. So when Christmas came, I done bought the game system for her. So it wasn't that serious. Like at the same time, she was learning how to save money and balance her credit and all that. So I wasn't mad at it. I got a cold, so forgive me talking like that, but I'm just saying. So at the same time, she was learning how to save money, put it away in the bank, and at the same time, be on the honor roll. It got to the point where she liked the gratitude from being on the honor roll, the dean list, that even now she's in college, being an accountant, been on the dean's list every semester.
That worked for me too, my son, especially. He ended up beasting. He did it. He kept a crazy high GPA all through college because once he got to that level, he didn't want to. The bar was set for himself, and that was it. So I think listen. I can tell you, we all agree, especially you, maybe you in the school system, that if a child gets an A on a test, they probably put a star on his shit, a sticker, or whatever the fuck they do. Now, I don't know what they do nowadays. I ain't been in school a long time. But what I'm saying is they used to do that back in the day. So that's incentivizing the kid too. The teacher doing it, why can't the parent?
They put their whole name on the dean's list with their grade average.
I'm not just saying now. I'm just saying for me, I just felt by leading by example with certain things. Because for me, I grew up, I'm just gonna be honest, I grew up with my kids. So I was in school and I was in graduate school when my kids was in school. So my kids saw me doing certain work ethics as it came down to homework. So they picked that stuff up. So literally we would all be at the table sometimes and I would be helping them and I would be doing my own work. So literally they kept work ethic with themselves because they saw me doing it. I led by example. When
I grew up in
college
in the Bronx
and with my math, I graduated with honors. My kids did the same. Now the boys didn't, but them girl, that girl of mine, she did.
But see, for me, it was different because I grew up where I grew up. I knew it was harder to stay focused in school. So anything to keep them focused, I'm on it. I don't want you to beat me. I want you to be better than me. So that's why I did what I did, and it worked.
I thought this was gonna be an easy topic. We was gonna move on, but I knew it was gonna be more difficult than I thought.
And here, in all honesty, like, don't, like, you did your parenting style, and that worked for you.
Exactly.
Kudos to you. Like, and like that's what it is. Like, as long as we out here producing successful, productive young adults, however you get there, how you get there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like you had said earlier, I don't care what nobody don't. I'm not like each his own. I'm not doing.
You like, why would I pay you to do something for free? Yeah, pay your kids
because that's my philosophy. that's my stance and my philosophy. I'm not going to give you cash money. I'm not going to give you cash money because you got A's. That's what you're supposed to do.
All right, you pay them
now. Like she said. So now my son was brought up in Georgia in a middle to upper class neighborhood. You understand what I'm saying? Like there was things that he wanted, he had to have, things of that nature. Yo, these grades stay where they supposed to be. Whatever you want, son, you get. And that's a form of his incentives. I'm just not giving you cash because you came home with an A. You keep maintaining these grades. My son had, and I'm probably breaking up because I'm driving. My son had the Xbox, he had the PlayStations, he had the video games for both. Like, because you doing what you're supposed to do, I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. So yes, that's a form of incentivizing, but like I'm not giving you payouts for grades, bro. That's my opinion.
Anybody that know me, know my kids ain't want for shit. But at the same time, whatever it takes to get you through what you need to get through, you're gonna do it. Most of the time they was in private school. Half the time we lived in Nanuet at one point. So I still was paying them to get their A's and do what they need to do. As far as that goes. So that ain't even have nothing to do with nothing, to be honest with you. We lived on Vincent Place. That's a nice block.
That's you. That's you. Like Gould said something. He said, and I'm not saying this is you. It's lazy parenting. We set a standard in my house with my son. We set a standard in my house with my son. Like, yo, we're not perfect, but we do everything with a spirit of excellence. Everything we do with a spirit of excellence. So that's school, that's basketball, whatever you get into. Like my son wanted to get into stuff, and I'm looking at him like, son, I know you ain't going. Well, if I don't like it, I could just drop out. No, if you get into this, you're finishing it.
You gotta finish it. That's it.
We do everything with a spirit. We do everything in a spirit of excellence. So, with that being said, school is no different, right? And that's just, to me, like, I get it. Like, if you incentivizing your kid with the grades and all of that, and that's working, kudos. Maybe I should have tried it. I didn't. And I didn't have too many problems. I didn't have too many problems with my son's grades. Like, what I learned about, and again, you got to learn your son. What my son would do, because he plays sports, he's a procrastinator. He's like me. He wait till the last minute, be like, yo, don't you got a paper? The night the paper's due, he stay up, cram it, do it, bust out an A. Now, I could be frustrated and hit my head on the wall like, son, I why you ain't doing? That's his style of getting things done, but it got done.
And that's fine. But like done. I said,
so like that's where I'm at with it.
But the way I grew up, I feel like if I probably would have had that little extra push here and there, I probably would have did a lot better than what I did. Now, my mother had me in private schools. I was getting scholarships from junior high school to high school for basketball. So I feel like sometimes if I had that little extra push or whatever, I probably would have finished the scholarship all the way out and did so. But I didn't. So for me not to have my kids end up like I ended up, I'm going to do whatever it takes. And for me, that incentive was that extra push.
My daughter is 27, and she's in a master's program right now. When she bring home a fucking A, she can't wait to see me. And she's 27. So we already know. I know what it was like when it was kids. She's 27.
And here's the thing in this whole conversation. We talking about kids. Like we have, like my son hates school. My son would literally tell you, I go to school because I get to play basketball. School is the way that I'm gonna get to go play basketball. I can't go play ball. He plays ball overseas now, but I can't do that unless I go to school. So I'm gonna do what I gotta do to do what I want to do, and I respect that.
Listen,
so
my daughter would have never went to college for her going to do a visit to see her friend who already went to college.
Yeah, he got a grade point average that he has to maintain to stay on that basketball team. Are you maintaining that, staying above it? Yes, sir. So in college, was my son on the honor roll? No. Ty was doing just enough to make sure nobody gonna tell him he couldn't play ball. Right. He hated school.
And there are a lot.
And then you had the kids that was popular because of the ball, and then some that need that extra push.
Yeah.
So, listen, I know a motherfucker who's on honor roll and he never even went to the class because he was so nice in football.
Yo, you know what's funny? Like I was maintaining B's and never did homework because I would go to class and I would just pay attention, and when the test come, and I had to study because I paid attention. I don't know how, by the grace of God, I got by doing that. But
same with me, Sean. If my teacher didn't put on the board, I was fucked up.
Yeah, if you did, and even if you said it, like I would just pay attention. I would take real good notes and stuff like that.
Bro,
I would write something down. I remember it better. Yo.
So let me tell you,
I was getting
late. But
everybody was doing that.
That's how I learned to study. Like I told you, I was trouble when I was younger. What I learned to do was pay attention in class. And yo, I would look at a question on the paper down on my desk, and I would remember where that shit was on the board, and I would just look. I would literally look at the board and remember where that shit was on the board and know the answer and write it in. And I ended up getting fucking way better grades. If she didn't put on the board, that was fine.
And some people or whatever.
That comes from you understanding your learning style.
Right.
Literally, that's the key. That's the key for parents as well as teachers. Once they understand a child's learning style, you can literally get more out of that child than anybody can get out of.
How hard, Suleiman? Suleiman asked me who I was talking about.
So you learn by being able to see. So you learn visually. Some kids have to learn by moving around, which is the kinesthetics. Some children have to learn by auditory. It just depends. You have to, as a parent, just like you go back to what you were saying earlier, Tony, you have to just know that child, know that learning how that child is going, or quote unquote, if you are favoring that child. No, you're not favoring that child, but you know that child has to do a certain thing a certain way. Same thing goes with education. You just have to know how that child is going to be able to get it, period.
All right, next question.
Next question.
Wait, we got to move on now?
Yeah.
Already?
Move on.
Yeah, because, yeah.
All right.
We do.
All right. Hold up. My man Suleiman just said, what's up, Tom? Well, my man Tom just came in, so I got to ask him real quick.
Tell him to watch the video.
Tom is my neighbor, yo.
Okay, Tom is
Tom.
Yo.
Tom, I'm going to ask you a question, but I'm going to move on after this. You can answer it in the comments.
You can answer it tomorrow when you see him.
Would you ever, if you were dating someone for 6 months, and I'm just asking Tom this, we already answered it, so he got to look back and see the answers if he want. You were dating someone for 6 months, Tom, and then after 6 months, she tells you that she used to be a lesbian. She used to be a lesbian. Would you continue to date her? All right, now we're moving on while we wait for Tom's answer.
He said hit him up. Next question. We keep coming back to that topic. Next question.
I'm moving on. Calm down. You look okay. Check this out. And this is across the board, so this ain't no son or daughter. You looking out the window one day, you see your daughter fighting another little girl. You go outside, you're the first parent there, you break them up, you separate them. And when you do that, the little girl that she was fighting spits on you. She doesn't hit you, she spits on you, the parent. What are you doing?
I don't know, because I'm going to be in that moment. In that moment, I might forget that I'm a parent.
After working with these kids where I work, I think I'm going to have a little more control when it comes to that. Because, she angry, probably this guy that spit, who knows.
We talking about
spitting. They do that here all day, every day. So I might have a little more.
They spit on
you? They only got one time only, but.
Yo, Dawn, I'm gonna be honest with you. You surprised me on that one.
Yeah, me too.
You threw me for a loop on that one.
I thought you put the kid in a twister.
But we used to be a kid too, so when you in fight mode, you really can't control your emotions, what you going through. So at the same time, she in fight mode, so she spit right. They got on me.
Yo, in fight mode, and you breaking me up. I'm doing everything I can
to
get
back
on my target. I'm not spitting on you. You spit on me, little
right.
Man, listen.
Listen,
you spit on me. You spit on me.
That's
you spit on me.
Angela put knock their damn teeth out.
Right.
You didn't say that. I remember one time somebody spit on my daughter, and I ain't knocked her teeth out.
Yeah, she didn't spit on your daughter. She spit on you.
No, you. But this is what I'm saying. A 16-year-old daughter spit on my daughter, and I ain't knock her teeth out. We talk about it. We handle it as adults. So we can't say we're gonna knock
here's the thing. I'm not knocking the kid out, but I'm definitely like, if it's a little girl, if it's a little girl, I'm grabbing up like, what you doing, and I'm taking it to a parent, and I want to see the dad, because somebody got to fight me. Somebody, this little girl just spit on me.
Yo, sure,
this little girl just spit on me.
He said somebody fight me. I gotta see that.
When it's the kids, I think. I don't know.
Like, did you grab up my daughter? Yes, I did. She spit on me, and I sure did. I grabbed her and I shook her a little bit. What we gonna do about this?
Just saying, I'm gonna be.
spit is nasty, but at the end of the day, if I didn't have the self-control that I have from working with these kids here, I probably would have took a head off. But because I know when you break up fights, people don't mean to do some of the shit that they do, but you just breaking up a fight, so it happens.
So that's why I never got a job at Rockland. So I went to Rockland one day, this is 20-something years ago, to get a job at Rockland Psych. And when I went in there, I got the interview. I had got the job and everything. So I'm talking to people about the job, and they wanted me to work in the kids unit. And they was telling me, yo, everything is this the easy department. The only thing you got to worry about, you can't put your hands on the kids, none of that. But the only thing you got to worry about is sometimes they'll throw shit on you. So I said, wait a minute, what you say? They'll do what? They'll throw shit on me. Like,
I'm sorry, say what?
He said, so hold up, Sean, let me tell you a story. So this nigga said they will reach in their pants, shit in their hand, and then throw it on you. I said, yo, I'm not coming to work. I didn't go. And I had the job. I never made it the first day.
It's a no for me.
Because I know if a motherfucker throw shit on me, I don't give a fuck. I don't care if he mentally ill, if he disabled, he got one leg, I'm fucking him up all the way up. I'm just sitting all the way up. So I couldn't get the job. Wasn't for me.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, because believe it or not, it happens in the school system because they
throw shit on you in the school.
We have units. We have units in the school district where kids will literally take their shit and throw it at you. There are units like that, and that is.
I don't give a fuck if they don't throw it on me. If it splatters on me, I'm fucking somebody up, yo.
It at you. You are the target.
Listen,
like that.
Matter of fact, it don't gotta touch me at all. The mere fact that they was trying to throw it on me.
Hear me? There are units in the school district like that, and I'm here in Georgia to tell you, because I work in special education. I know we have units in the county I live in where they take it and they smear it and they put it on the wall, put it on their hand, and throw it at people when they get angry.
Yeah, nah. I'm out that school system.
But it happens. I mean, that's why it's one of those hard things. But it takes a great person to deal with that. I'm just not that person.
You still do it though.
I'm not.
You a nasty motherfucker. You still do it.
I'm not.
You still there.
I'm not that person. I'm still there, but I don't work in those units.
Oh, so you got transfer.
No, I never worked in those units. I work in special education, but I'm not working in those units. I deal with their paperwork, yeah, but I won't deal with them.
That's the same thing when I was working in security, dude. That's different. I think it'll hurt you more when the person is older doing dumb shit. But I mean, even when you work like jails or security, they doing that nasty ass shit. They got a whole mental health unit in there where they throw whole pits of shit to wait for you to walk past and throw it.
Yo, I seen that shit on TV, yo. This motherfucker had a bucket of piss and threw it on a CO. I'm telling you, everybody dying in that cell.
They would put urine and bleach in a bucket, or they get like a cleaning solution, throw it on a CO. But yo, I used to live in North Carolina. My grandmother had a like, we called it the group home, but she took in patients. Now, back in these days, it was two type of classification patients that she got: MI and MR, mentally ill and mentally retarded. But they were high functioning. I know you can't say that word now, but that's their classification back in the day: MI, MR. And you had to get like certain certifications, even though it was my grandmother's crib. You had to have certain certifications to be there because you're around patients. Bro, I used to go there. The patients was cool, all of that. So one day we in there, and you know how you could smell when somebody went to the bathroom. I'm like, yo, somebody killing the bathroom. Yo, when I tell you, one of the patients came out covered in it, like it was nothing. And they was like, get her. You, man, listen, she good. I'm out. I'm gone. I ain't coming. Like, I can't.
They own the house. If it was me,
yo, yeah, she got it. She got it. He was like, no, let's take her in the bathroom and do what? And do what? Put some gloves on, bro. Yo, I don't even get paid. I'm just here to hang out.
Mental illness.
But yo, it really is. But here's the thing. It's just certain like all of us were raised in New York, I'm assuming, but just because we was raised in the same area, it's different codes, right? We was raised, the nastiest thing you could do to somebody is spit on them.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Right? My dad taught me, like, because I have the same situation. My dad wasn't my dad. He was my stepdad, but he was my father because my birth dad died. He said the most disrespectful thing you could do to a man is spit on him or slap him.
Mm-hmm.
If you spit on me, I don't care who you are, my code teaches me that is the most disrespectful thing you can do to me.
Yeah, we got to fight, win or lose.
We have, like, you a little kid, yo, we got a saying, 8 to 80, blind clipper occasion, you can catch these hands.
Right. It's different.
Now, if it's a little girl, like, because nowadays and all of this and that and this, I always believe that, like, so when we was talking about it, I don't want to hit my daughter when she do something wrong, because I don't always want her thinking every time I do something wrong, a man's going to hit me.
Mm-hmm.
That's the mother's role. That's my philosophy. That's what I believe.
That's a good philosophy. I'm with that.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Because now when her man is beating her, she accepts it because when I did wrong, my dad beat me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's now it could be messed up. People say, "Oh, you taking it too far." That's how I believe. You don't like it, then stay away from me and mine. But on some real, if this little girl spits on me, I'm grabbing her up immediately.
That's a whole other scenario, Sean. I'm with you on
Can't do that, Sean.
Yo, you look, man. I didn't hit her. I grabbed her up, and I am walking her home.
So you got up like this, taking her home, son? You can't take her home like that, son.
Yo, Goo, you know how big I am.
Because because he didn't tell you what you're doing. When you got her up like this and can't nobody see that fish, you're hitting her like this.
Yo, I'm saying as I'm walking, getting little jabs in, and I'm going to a crib, and if she
I know she's going back with little knots on the side of her shit because you got that knuckle like this, son. Inside that shirt like this, son.
Yo, if there's a man in that house, bro, your daughter and my daughter was fighting. I went to break it up. Nothing happened, but then your little daughter spit on me, and I'm bringing her here. Son, you got to come out here and square up with me, bro. And I don't.
If I bring you home, if your mom's come and she's ignorant and she's sitting there talking about she should spit on you again, then I'm gonna take her mother head off. But if the little girl, like, God with yourself, because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for my job now, I probably would have took her head off. But at the same time, that's somebody else's daughter. I don't want them to do that shit to mine. So with that being said, like I said, when her mother get there, if she ignorant as fuck and be like, oh well, she should have spit on you, I'm gonna take her head off.
But see,
I'm gonna show her daughter what could happen.
Why is she so comfortable with just spitting? I can see if you hit me, like if the little girl's trying to fight and hitting me, I can see that. Why are you so comfortable spitting on me?
That's a whole.
Yeah, I gotta see one of your parents, and if there's no father in the house, she got an uncle, I'll punch your little son in the face. Like, somebody's getting punched in the face. Somebody got.
Sometimes kids is confused. I thought you was trying to.
Sean, listen, I agree with you, man. That's a tough one, man. But that's why I did it as a little girl, because I know as men, we ain't gonna hit a little girl because we soft to that shit. As much as it pains us, you know what I'm saying, we gotta let that shit kind of go. But somebody gotta come outside. I agree with you, Sean, because I can't live with that.
You lying. If that little girl hawk spitting your shit, you gonna take her fucking head off before you.
That shit's still stuck in my shit too when I get to the house.
I'm gonna be honest.
That motherfucker ain't even drop. I'm tight, son.
I'm so tall, this little girl might spit in my chest, but if it touch my face, I'm reacting. That's a reaction.
You hawk spit,
that's a reaction.
What that shit from within? Hell no. I'm gonna have to take her head off.
If she spit in your face?
Yeah, if she hawk spit, oh hell no.
Oh, you mean she done went from the back of the lung with the hell?
That's what I said. Yep, that shit. I'm breaking her leg.
When I tell you she gonna get a distant Sparta type kick to the face, I'm gonna have to take whatever come after that. And I wear a size 18 shoes, so I'm kicking her clean down the block.
Hell no. You about to kill her.
Yo, you're not right, son.
You about to kill her.
Yo, murder is the case. 187. Like, yo, she spit in my face. Like, we had a situation with my daughter. In her middle school, and these girls was like, oh, they were gonna jump her. Oh no. We don't fight fair. If you want to square up with her, she could throw them hands with you, and you gonna catch this work. But y'all jumping her, we jump in.
So listen, let me just elaborate on this real quick. So if I go out there and my daughter's fighting this girl and she fucking her up, right? And I pull her off and the little girl spits on me, I put my daughter right back on her. I'm making sure she got the advantage too.
I might even hold her hands. I might even grab her hands.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna let her take her apart, son.
Yeah,
all the way to the white meat.
Punching them out. Say sorry for spitting on my daddy. Say sorry. Tell her say sorry for spitting on your dad. Like, yo, that's just the most disrespectful thing you can do, man. Like,
yeah,
there is no
that motherfucker hog spit, and they go all the way into it, and they get it from the chest, but that shit come out a different color and all that. Yeah, man, I might have to. Listen, I ain't never hit a girl in my life, whether a little girl or an adult. I ain't never did it, a woman or nothing. That might take me over the top, though.
Yo, you know how serious I am about this? You know when people be talking, like they may be drinking or whatever, and they be talking and all of that, and they mouth get all juicy, and they talk and they spit on you? Oh, my God. Like, that's a quick way to end a friendship with me, bro. That's a quick way to end a friendship with me. Like, yo, Like, yo, spit, that is like, oh, my God. I don't know if you brush your teeth. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what type of bacteria is in your mouth. Especially if they got the yuck mouth. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Them motherfucking teeth ain't all the way together. You know that shit coming with back. You know that shit got a cavity. That motherfucker, that hog spit got a cavity in it and everything, son.
Oh, my God. Like, I feel like I got a virus now. Oh, my God. Oh, my
Yo,
James is such he getting worked up now. He ready to slap somebody.
For real. Somebody spit like Dawn. You know what, Dawn? You surprised me because I didn't know your job, so you trained for that.
Yeah.
You trained for that. Yo, I don't like there's no training in the word. You spit on me or you throw feces on me.
I couldn't do that job.
Yo,
feces,
I tell you,
I ain't doing it. I ain't gonna hold you.
Listen, I got an opportunity to do a maintenance job right now at a group home where they want me to be the maintenance supervisor of all the houses. I don't know if I want to do it.
See, that's what I am. I'm a supervisor over everything here. So when they call, they gotta call me and whoever else. So like, nah. Not that the kids be really riled up.
Listen, I don't even want to be working outside and one of them little niggas run by and spit on me and I'm just with my back to them. I know I'm gonna lose the job. That's why I don't want to take it.
If you got a good relationship with the kids, they're not looking at you like that at all. Because I got a good relationship. I haven't even had to restrain nobody. I've been here 7 years. These people come here, they gotta break their neck. I don't gotta break my neck. I tell the kid to stop, he gonna stop. I was in between two grown boys fighting before. And it was funny because both of them like, you better not hit Dawn. You better not hit Dawn. I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm like, is y'all serious? So it depends on your relationship. Kids respect you if they like you.
In that situation,
so
and I can take a punch a lot better than I can a spit, boy. I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know, you was in the moment or whatever. I caught one, you know, like, yeah, all right, you know, all right. But if you spitting, oh my God, like, boy, especially if it's a dude, like if a little boy spit on me, oh my God. Me and my son jumping him out there. We gon' man, that little joking name gonna be Timberland for the rest of his life because he's gonna have a tree implanted on his head. We going to, man.
All right, I got a question. Let's go. Next question.
Thank you.
Hold on. My man Jamal said exactly, build a relationship with the kids. Fuck that, Jamal.
Yeah.
Niggas spit on you. Spit is spit. We ain't building no relationship to spit, though. So listen.
They'll spit around you on the next
We all are parents. Most of us are parents. Most of us got children. Not all of us, but most of us. Do you think, looking back on the way you grew up, did you take any of your parenting skills that you have now from your parents? Meaning, do you rule or parent your children the old school way because your parents are old school if you're our age or anywhere in our age group? Within a 10-year span, you probably had old school parents where old school parents believed in busting your ass if you got out of line. Old school parents believed in switches. Old school parents believed in putting you on punishments in the corner. Old school parents wasn't afraid to take something away from you, you know, and never give it back. Old school parents used to take your favorite shit and break it in front of you, you know. So these are old school ways. Has any of y'all ever adopted any of those things with your parenting style because you felt it worked on you or didn't work on you? I know I did. So for a fact, I took most of what my parents did. except the switching shit, because I ain't had time to go out there and look for something to bust your ass with. I knew I kept shit on deck. I had shit in every room. So if I had to get you in the living room, it was already something in there that I already had set up. So I had a setup house. If I'm catching you in the bathroom, busting, there's something in there already for me.
So, I would say when I first had my first 2 kids, I took a lot of my mom's ways. My first 3 kids, I took a lot of her ways. But when I got on to the next 3 kids, I evolved with the times, because some of the things that good for them ain't working for them. Like, the kids nowadays is more softer than the kids back then, or when you had them, or whatever case may be. So their emotional levels is a lot different than, I could say, like my older kids. My older kids is built for and tough. The next 3 sets of kids, you say boo, they ready to cry, or they emotional, or they this, or they that. So I'm like, wait, what is going on? But it's the times we in. So I'm like, all right, they not built like the other kids. So, I mean, they all went through suburban life. They never had to go to the city and stay or no shit like that. But at the same time, they just built different than the 3 that I had to grow up with. So the 3 that I didn't have to grow up with, and they basically walked into everything, is more needy when it comes to certain things. So
I will say this. You're right, Dawn. Parenting now has got to be the most difficult thing in the world to do, man. I think it's way more difficult now than our era, because these kids nowadays, they can talk shit to you. You can't fuck them up. I know if I had shit. I know I'm going to jail. I know they're going to have to tell. They're going to have to tell on me because I'm fucking them up.
They feel like you can't tell them nothing. If you tell them something, they want to kill themselves. They want to do all type of crazy ass shit that you looking like, what the hell is going on? Who kid all this? You be questioning like, who kid all this issue? Like, we're not built like that, but it's just the times that they in. So you got to be a little bit more sensitive to their needs to a point. So
I don't know, man. That's tough, man. Jamal, my man Jamal is on. I'm curious to hear what you got to say about that, Jamal, because you're a younger parent. You're younger than us anyway. So I like to hear you chime in on that. Yo, what about you, Sean? How you feel about that? Sean frozen.
I'm here. Oh yeah, I am frozen. Can you hear me?
He's frozen.
No, he's not.
I hear him now. What'd you say, Sean? Say it again.
I took some of it. Some of it I took, some of it I didn't. Like the beating with switches and all of that. Nah, I didn't do that. Breaking stuff in front of them. Like my parents never did that to me. But there was a lot of core stuff that I got from my parents that I instilled. The one thing I did was, and it sounds weak when people hear it, and they be like, oh, like they try to diminish it. I knew my dad loved me. He never said it. He showed it in his buying me and showing up to games and all of that. But I showed my son like physical, like I would hug him, you know what I mean? And love on him, say, I love you, bro. Like, though that was something different. But other than that, I did a lot of stuff that my parents did because that was the only parenting that I knew. And then as I grew, some of that stuff worked because some of the stuff that my son had, we didn't have. So I had to evolve a little bit. But so I took some of it from my parents and some of it I just learned as I was going. Like being a parent is on the job. Like there's no manual to it. So you learn as you go. But yeah, but what I used to do with my son to keep, like my dad did this to me. This is one thing I got from my dad. My dad would always like tussle or play fight with me. And I'm thinking he just playing with me. What he was doing was he was showing me his power. He was showing me how strong he was, right? So like, you buck up if you wanna. I'm not hitting you as hard as I can, and even if hit me not as hard as he can, hurt. So now imagine if he really get mad and hit me. I never wanted to feel that pain. And you know, I'm tall and big, but I just got here. He was always that size. You know what I'm saying? Like my mother was 6'4". my dad was close to like. Them was some big people. I wasn't trying to figure that out. So I did that with my son. I would always play with him. So even to this day, like when I go to shoot the hands of my son, I flinch. He'll buck up because of that. But I've never had no problems with him. And all boys, and you know this, Gould, because you got them, eventually they're going to buck. Eventually they're going to try to show you or test to show, oh, I'm like, nah, there's only one lion in here. And when he did that and I flinched, son caved up, and we was able to resolve it. So I took a little bit. I took some from him, and then some on my own. Some of the new age stuff, but it wasn't over no timeouts. Like go stand in the corner. I thought that was stupid. But yeah, we used to do. Remember, I don't know if y'all ever had this punishment. We used to get this punishment. Like we got on punishment. We used to have to like squat on the wall with our hands out. We
Now
used
we
to do
got
that. So I used to
stand on one foot. Shit.
Yeah.
Stand on one foot. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
But I ain't take none of that shit. Like I said,
so with me, I took mostly everything, except I used to spank my kids when they were younger. I never really had to do anything until they got older, except when they got out of line with their mothers. Now then, because the mothers would call me crying.
Sorry.
So I came in there like a bat out of hell, and I acted the fool. And I'm telling you, I treated my kids like adults at that point because I had to teach them that that's totally, I'm a mama's boy. So for me, mothers was off limits. And I tried to instill that in them growing up, so they should have never got out of line anyway. But anytime they ever got out of line with their mothers, oh, it was on. It was on like, I'm telling you, especially when they were teenagers. I mean, I treated them like adults because I felt like I needed to show them that this would never happen again. And because I'm against it, I taught you to be against that in the first place. You know, even if I didn't like their mother, you know what I mean? That's not the point. The fact that I was a mama's boy growing up, I wanted them to understand that you ain't never got to worry about your father. You gonna always respect your mother though. You know what I mean? And so if they would call me and say that this happened or a certain situation happened or they got out of line or got mouthy with them, I was leaving work for that. I was, yo, boss, I got to go out the back. And I would go do what I had to do because that needed to be known that is a pet peeve of mine, being that I was a mama's boy. So that's when I would really go into next level shit with them when it came to that. Other than that, you know, again, I did take most of the things. Majority of the things that my parents did or instilled in me, I took and I ran with it with my own children. The only thing I did differently was my parents didn't require me to go to college, even though I went briefly. But it wasn't a requirement of theirs. Like when I graduated high school, you know, my parents was like, okay, you need to get a job. And when I told them I wanted to go to college, they was like, what? You know what I mean? Because my parents grew up in the South and they didn't even finish high school. So it wasn't a thing. It didn't translate. High school was enough for them for me. So, but for me, I wanted my kids to go to college, whether it was scholarship, whether it was just going to college, period. I tried to force that. And again, all of them didn't finish. Some of them did. Most of them did. But, you know, I can't. And the ones that didn't probably make more than the ones that did. But the bottom line is they you know, they all at least experienced it, whether they stayed in it or not, because that was one thing that I wanted, you know, that I definitely wanted to instill in them because it wasn't instilled in me. And I always felt like I needed to do, I was one of those people that said my children need to be better than me. Somehow, some way, I was kind of doing it selfishly though also because in my mind I was like, damn, when I get old, I want my kids to be able to take care of me. So I want to make sure I do everything to make sure that they're going to be in power or in place to be able to do what they need to do for me when I get old enough and I can't do it for myself no more. So that was the reason why I did it. And as selfish as it sounds, the truth though. That's the way I looked at it at the time. So I wanted to make sure that they got the education and they was going to all get good jobs and make enough where, if you know, where they can take care of me when I'm ready to just sit back and drink OE until it's over. So that's the way I looked at it. But I definitely whooped some ass all the way up until they graduated high school because of, and it was for certain situations though. It didn't have to be for something as little as them doing bad in school or something like that. But if it came to something where they got out of line with their mothers, I was on that. Like they already knew. I mean, listen, one of my sons ran away from home because he knew I was on the way. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew what it was. And I wasn't even mad at him. When I found him, I didn't do nothing because I'm like, I was just happy that he came home, but you know, I was pissed that I couldn't do my thing either because I felt like he might get out of line again because I ain't doing my point. Right. So, you know, that's all. Other than that, though, that was it for me, though. I did take everything that my parents pretty much instilled in me.
It'd be funny because your older kids be like, why you ain't beat his ass? Why you ain't beat his ass like you beat my ass? I be like, what are you talking about? They like, you used to whip our ass. You ain't whipping their ass. You soft now. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like the son's different. He's a different kid. They be like,
But listen, that was gonna be my next question. If you spanked your children, did you feel fucked up after that?
It depends.
hell no, they deserved it. If they deserved it, they deserved it. Like it took a while. I'll prompt them like 99 times before I touch them. To the point where they be like, Mommy ain't gonna do nothing. And then they do that last little thing and I tear your ass up. But it just be like, I don't know. They be prompted a lot of times, so they be laughing at me like, I ain't gonna beat their ass.
Yeah, I was, like I said, I wasn't against it. I did what I needed to do because at the time, like I said, it was for a reason for me. Jamal, hit me up. I want to hear what you got to say, bro, because you ain't answered yet. Marvin Cook, what's going on, my brother?
He did say something.
Sharon Lakes, how you doing, young lady?
You probably need to change the subject.
Nope, I ain't changing nothing yet. Benson, you ain't answered either, man. Come on, maybe type something.
I know.
Yeah, my bad, y'all. I was listening to y'all, but I was coming into the house, so I guess I got kicked off when I hit on the Wi-Fi.
So my man Suleiman said it hurt me to the core, but he started smelling himself. All right.
Yo, but I think that's the thing. It's like, when I got with my wife now, having a daughter is different than a son. It really is.
Oh,
but with my son, like it was, let's get it. Let's like, he started, and then because I'm 6'10", Ty's 7'1", so his main thing was, it was like he was like I always say he's not a snake, but he was like a snake. You know how snakes size you up to see if they could take you. Every time, that's what he would do. He'd stand up straight. Okay, I'm getting there. And once he started getting like at eye level, that's when son's like, Dad, I could take you. And it's like, I could take me out, bro. He said, you're going to get old one day. My gun's still going to be brand new, bro. My gun's still going to be brand new. Because I'm going to put a hole in your ankle. Then I'm going to take you to the emergency room. You're going to be walking with a limp. And every time people say, how'd you get that limp? I thought I was better than my dad. But, you know, I used to, like my dad, man. My dad would talk so much that it was a fear there. You know what I mean? So, but parenting is different now. Like, you know, you letting people tell you how to raise your kid, come get them. You can tell me how to discipline my kid, man. The one thing my parents did that I did, wherever you act up is where you getting it. Mm-hmm. I'm not, wait till we get outside.
They will come get your kid now.
And guess what? And when you get the bill for feeding that big boy, you'll bring him back. But like, you can't take, and this is, we could go deep into this, it's societal. You can't tell me I can't discipline him, but then when he get out there in the world and he ain't got no discipline him, he ain't got no act right now, you want to bust him in the head and take him. Yo, I tell people
that's why they do, that's why all these laws are in place.
Exactly. Like, I tell my son this all the time. My son, but this cop is this and that. Son, I've never in the history of my life seen a black man win an argument with a cop on the side of the road. I said, I'd rather take out loans and everything and pay $200,000 for your legal defense than to pay the pallbearer $16,000 to bury you.
That's true.
Because now they burying you. Now they locking me up or burying me too.
Chris, what up?
That's true.
Y'all keep saying that these girls is different shit. These girls is more harder than boys nowadays sometimes. Like, I got 4 girls and 2 boys. And sometimes the boys is more laid back than the girls.
Yo, with these girls, they be asking you questions like, let me ask you a question. When y'all was younger and your parents were leaving the house, did you ever look at your parents and say, where you going?
To my parents?
Yeah.
You better not.
Let me tell you, man, every time I leave this house, my daughter look at me, where you going? I say, out. Out where? To mind my business. No,
what are you talking about?
No, seriously. Like, seriously, where are you going? Seriously, mind my business.
I wouldn't even answer that shit. I'd have just looked back and just kept pushing. So my man Jamal said, okay, again, why are the kids acting like that? Because kids think they can, Jamal, and if y'all don't reprimand them or do something about it, they're going to continue to do it or get worse at it. And that's what happens with some of these kids. Some of these kids overstep their boundaries because they realize that the boundary that they set the first time wasn't challenged. So now they go to the next level with the next challenge until they feel, now they talking shit to you like they're little white kids somewhere.
Hey, yo, Jamal, let me ask you, and I don't know this about you. Do you got kids, Jamal?
Yeah, he
Jamal
got
got kids?
kids.
You got kids.
He
You
young
ain't have
too.
to teach your kids.
He ain't got
You
no
ain't have to teach your
age
kids.
that though, do he? How
Age range of the kids.
You ain't
Well, he got
got to
one.
teach. Well, if he got young kids, here's a lesson I'm gonna teach. I'm gonna learn you on. I'm gonna learn you on this one, my boy.
18 on
You
you.
ain't got to teach your kids. You ain't got to teach your kids how to do bad.
Mhm.
You got to teach them how to do good. So when you say why they acting like that, because it's
They gotta-
Tuesday. Because it's Tuesday. That's why.
That's exactly what it is. They
It's
gonna try
Tuesday.
you. I don't give a fuck
If your
who
kid,
you
if
are.
you
They gonna try you till you lay down a boundary. They gonna try you.
like, here's the thing. We got beat or in trouble because if my mother said, "Hey, get up and go take out the trash,"
You
when
don't
she came
move.
back around that bin
If
and
it
I
wasn't,
didn't, and I wasn't taking out that trash, it was a problem. Because if she walked around that bin and I didn't take out that trash, now what I'm telling her, what she's telling me is, "Oh, it's okay. I could go do it when I'm ready."
Mhm.
No, if my mother said, "Yo, get up and do 5 jumping jacks," I had to get up right then and there and do 5 jumping jacks. That was a she trained me like that. You train, people say that because, oh no, you don't train children, you train dogs. You got to train your kid and set those, like Ghoul said, set those
You
boundaries. Like, you a
gotta
child.
set them boundaries because if you don't, they're gonna continue to do it.
but Jamal,
And they say, I want
that's
them.
a valid point.
He is like when the girls get like in they 18 or 17, 18, that's when all hell breaks loose. And sometimes with the boys too. Like I used to tell my son, I could tell when you got your first piece of pussy because your whole world changed. Like you acting different now. Know what I'm saying? Now you act like you ain't gotta follow rules. You don't hear what I'm saying. Like you could just tell. Like now my girls, I ain't saying that because they not out there like really like that, whatever. But at the same time, it's just like you know your kids. So I'm like, what changed that got you feeling yourself like? And then they'll go into it or whatever it may be. But
Yeah, man.
So my
Like, yo,
man
kids
Jamal said he got a
is a
17-year-old daughter, and if he feels it's all in how you talk to her, and Crystal put them girls are different. I have one girl and 5 boys, and
they are different.
so
He
Jamal
said,
put
your
do we
man
forget they
said,
are
do
humans
we
too.
forget
All
they
right,
are
But
so
it's
humans
not
Jamal,
too?
about, okay, can
Come
I
on,
say
man.
something? Because it's not about a child being a human. It's about a child being a child. At the end of the day, the child has to learn to stay in a child's place. And if we don't
And
teach
be
that
respectful,
child
right?
to stay in a child's place, they're never going to be in a child's place.
goddamn right,
So at the end of the day, it's not about being a human. It's still a child.
fucking
At the
right.
end of the day. So we can't talk about, first, let's be a child. Because the child ain't got no business knowing what I'm doing or asking me or questioning me. I'm like, Sean, if my child, I was that old school parent. My kids know if I went to sleep at night and the dish was in the sink and I got up 2 o'clock in the morning, everybody waking up because the dish is going to get cleaned. And my kids are like that now. They like now. So literally, it's the same thing. Make sure you start, okay, but how, okay, so he's saying I'm taking his words out of context.
He said,
Please
or did
elaborate.
IQ, he said that IQ fall off
Right.
the face. Listen, here's the thing, Jamal. Do what you do with your kids.
Right.
That part.
My son is a successful basketball player overseas playing ball. I think I did a pretty decent job.
And my
That's
daughter
it.
18 with 2 businesses. So I think I'm doing a really good job.
You see what I'm saying? And guess what? You could say, whatever you say, like, you know, like as IQ. So you trying to say I got a small IQ because I raised my kid like my mom and my dad did raise me?
I just want to know how I'm gonna take. He said he's talking about the kids and not, but we're
Yeah,
not talking about. We're talking about
we can't speak
that we have. It's not
Listen,
the kids. I can't control
the kids in your community
I
aren't
can only
doing well.
control the kids that I birthed.
The kids in your community aren't doing well. So before you say that, I coach middle school football. Right? 28 kids. Out of those 28 kids, 24 of them single parent homes being raised by their mother. Grades improved because of the discipline that we gave them. So the kids in my community are doing well, and all I could do is affect the community that I'm in. That's you. So if you feel that the kids in the community aren't doing well, what are you doing about that?
Yo, my neighbor just said, so just to confirm, yes, I would date a woman after 6
He's
months.
going back to that. He's going back to that. I quit it.
Yeah, she obviously has to look good, and we get along smoothly as friends and all that.
No,
All right, child. That's my guy. So he came through. Yo, it's phone guy. We got to give him credit for coming back on.
I wish Jamal could come on because I'm really trying to comprehend what he's asking because he's saying
I can't add nobody. I can't add a fifth unless one of y'all go off for me to add him.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. Like,
I'm
so like, and maybe I misconstrued his words, but you gonna tell me my IQ fell off the face of the planet because of the way I raised my kids? Come on, son.
I'm just trying to.
Yo, son, I'm from New York. I'm from New York. We with it. Like, let's talk. Like,
he act like
yo,
you could be the best parent in the world. Y'all act like some of the best parents in the world. Kids ain't serial killers. They raised them to be a serial killer. Shit just happened.
I just want to let y'all know that I agree with Jamal. All y'all IQs is fucked up.
Nigga, you was on the short bus.
Talking about.
Yo, go. And
you had the helmet on.
You was the one on the short bus, not with the
Okay.
one looking the buttons off the window. You ain't gonna be talking to me.
You're asking in general. If you're asking in general about the community kids, it goes back to what we were saying earlier. It's parenting. That falls on the parents, period, point blank. There's no other way to put that. That all falls on parenting. That foundation.
You cannot blame everything on the parents.
That, Jamal.
I disagree.
Jamal, I'm with you. These motherfuckers, these 3 IQs right here, Jamal, I'm telling you, son,
I disagree. Kids are impressionable, so you can't blame everything on their parents. They got the best.
No. I'm saying certain things as it relates to in the community. You can only control your children.
Yeah, but in the community, we can't say that another parent's not doing a great job.
No, that's not what I'm saying, sis. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not
talking about him. I'm talking to Jamal.
Yeah, okay. Because at the end of the day, if I tell my kid that light's red, and
cause why you disagree?
They go on the community and say no, that light's black, and they do something different. That's not on the. That's true.
I agree with Chris. It's not all on the parents, right? Like, yo, you, as a parent, you can only do so much. The best analogy I gave was as a parent, you have your kid is an arrow, right? And you point him in the right direction. Now, when you let him go, which direction that arrow chooses to go, you can't control that.
Exactly.
But
that's just like dudes or girls that are raised in that are PK kids, that are PKs, right? They was raised in the church. They know everything right to do. As soon as they get from under their parents, they hellions.
Right.
Their parents had nothing to do with that. Parenting is a fine line, like, right? Like, so it's just like if your daughter likes this dude and you don't like this dude and you fight this dude with every tooth and nail,
keep dating him.
She gonna keep dating him, right? But if you got to learn that fine line. This is not like, it ain't like there's a book where you can say,
I was that guy.
Kid did this. What chapter is that?
Let me hear that.
The one that every parent hated. I kept
anyway
their daughters though for as long as I could.
Yo, listen.
Anyway,
man. I remember I brought a girl home. My mom's came in the room. She looked her dead in the face, and I introduced her. My mom said, "You ain't gonna last." She said, "Why you?"
That was my grandmother. My grandmother was the best.
She said, "Because I don't like you." The girl sat back down because my mother was a big, intimidating figure. She said, "Why she don't like me?" I said, "Guess what?"
Yo,
but I'm
my grandmother would literally take her and spin her around and look at her ass and everything and be like, "Yo, don't bring her back." I'd be like, "Oh shit." Yo, my grandmother used to be hard with that, son. But anyway, Chris, explain yourself, brother. I need a little more detail on what you're talking about, Chris. I'm curious now. And Jamal, you never really answered the question, man. You talking about the kids in the community, but elaborate a little bit. Let us know what you're talking about, because we all curious about what you're saying. You ain't really hit us back yet with that. You kind of deflecting. What's going on? You still on? We see you.
There's so much going on nowadays. Like I said, you got your parents raising you. You got social media raising you. You got your peers telling you stuff. There's so much going on. So it's not just, you can't blame everyone.
Would it be safe to say we can say the kids are really confused because they don't have a foundation if all of those factors are doing the quote unquote raising?
Kids is,
well, let me tell you like this. We can all look back on
a lot of things in their face that wasn't in their face when you was younger. So that's why kids are confused, because a lot of things that's in their face now, you didn't have to deal with when you was younger.
That's true. I agree.
So this is why we can't just say the parents is the cause of their kid acting this way or acting that way. No, we can't.
But my caveat would be, but who controls that?
Your friends.
They can watch TV anywhere. When you go to
listen. I can't control once my child leaves the household, but when my child is within my household, I can control that.
Okay, but your child might not act like that in front of you in your household. But once they leave the house, listen to what you're saying. Listen, that's just like a young girl when they was younger. Their mother tell them to dress this way, right? But when they leave and they book back, they got a whole nother outfit. Oh. So you can't blame the mother for her changing her clothes when she left the house. Because what she saw was what she told her to wear.
So let me give you an example of my growing up. I was really controlled by my friends. My parents did the best they could with me. And my parents probably looking down on me now going, I did all I can do. But the bottom line is, if my friends wanted to stay out late, I knew I was coming home to an ass whooping. And I was okay with it. I was hanging with my friends. They were still out. They was able to stay out later than me. I had a curfew. I was getting an ass whooping almost every night. Because it wasn't like my friends were saying, yo, Tone, nah, you don't go home. Chill with us. They was telling me you need to go home because they knew my curfew too. Yeah. But I was having fun. So at the end of the day, the influence my friends had on me, even though they was telling me to go the fuck home, I was taking the ass whooping. So Chris was probably hinting on that way. He just take me for example. I would love to say my parents did a great job. They did what they could with what they had. Chose my own path. You're right. I'm not gonna say that you chose your own path, but I'm saying I did the same thing. I took every ass whooping against every wish my mom's had for me, just because I wanted to continue to hang out. And I did all the shit. I did some shit now that if my parents knew what I did, they would probably disown me back then.
And children change for different reasons. Your daughter might be outside because there's a guy she like. She don't want to hear what you gotta say because she like this dude or whatever it can be. That's just how it be sometimes. You could have taught her the right way all along, but this is where her interest lies. So this is where she want to be.
And here's another kicker. There's so many more influences. Like when we were coming up, right? We didn't have all of the readily available information these kids have.
Right.
Like kids have information and access to internet 24/7.
They know where the party's at.
They know where the parties is at. They know, like you and then you look at this stuff like what's this girl's name? Because she just asked Sexy Red. Had no idea who this girl was, and then I heard the song called Pound Town.
Right.
Now in my mind, I'm thinking my daughter's telling me about this song. There's no way it can mean what I think it means.
It does.
And then the song comes on, and I'm like,
and you listen to it, and
but here's the thing. Now, as kids, all she is a younger version of 2 Live Crew.
Right.
But
right. But here's the kicker, because you could. I'm 44. I was a kid when 2 Live Crew came out.
But and I guess it's like you said, there are different levels because when certain things came out, I was in a different mindset, and I guess it is like.
Oh, so when that Freak Nick documentary come out, I should be looking for your face.
I don't have receipts. I was there.
So she's gonna be on the documentary. It's just different, right? So like as a parent now, as our parents, like Ghoul said, his parents, they had to fight the influence from his friends, right? Now as parents now, we got to fight the influence of their friends, social media, this stereotype that they got that they need to look like and do, and I literally was telling my daughter, do you know that there's a different version of TikTok in China where it's created overseas, wherever in the West it was created, than it is here? Mm-hmm. They don't even do entertainment. They reward people and pay people for doing educational, architectural stuff. Mm-hmm. But they give us the dumb stuff to do, and y'all do it. Y'all doing fads and trends, and that's how music is sold now, through TikTok. So I get it. You could do your best job on your kids, but if they on that phone and they want to be what they see on that phone, and we were talking last week about BBLs and all of that. They're looking at that stuff now.
But then this is my part with that. I will ask this, but as a child, you still, as a parent, you still control that because you're responsible for that.
No, you can't.
No,
You know how hard that, you know how hard that is.
You're not paying that phone bill.
These kids,
Yeah,
these,
you don't control shit.
even if you pay, even if you pay
What do you
the phone
control
bill.
him when he in school? What do you control him when he in school, nigga? What do you control him when he's in school for 8 hours a day?
My kids are grown, so I can't.
I'm talking about when your kids was younger. When he was in school for 8 hours a day, you took his fucking phone. Guess what he did when he went to school?
Didn't have phones back in the school. My oldest son is 34.
Okay.
My baby's 29.
But
Okay.
here's the thing, even now you say that, well, can't you control their phones and all of that? These little kids are little geniuses. They're up on technology and you'd never know.
I mean,
You got two.
Well, let's just use today's age. In today's age, if you take a kid's phone, it really don't matter. They can go. They can say, I'm going to my friend's house and get right on their iPad while their friend used the phone, or vice versa.
I get that. This is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, as a parent, I'm just throwing this out there. As a parent, you purchased that. That's what you purchased for them to have, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but then you control what they are able to see, is what I'm saying.
Only at home, though.
No, listen to what I'm saying.
You're saying like setting limitations and restrictions on certain platforms and all of that?
That can be done. And then at the end of the day, you chose to make that purchase. You didn't have to make that purchase.
Well,
but you missing the point. Nevia, my point.
No, I'm not missing the point. I'm just saying in general.
You're right on your point. I'm telling you that you can restrict the child and put the shit on age restriction shit where they can only look at certain websites or whatever you want to do. You can even fucking take it from them. At the end of the day, you can only control that time slot.
Right.
There's 8 hours of that kid going to school. There's a fucking another couple hours that they say they're going to do homework at a friend's house where they back on that same fucking shit, just not at home.
I mean, and I'm not saying that. That's all I'm saying is.
I know we didn't have video games at home. I used to go to my friend's house to play a video game. So like,
my mother took my
video game.
My mother took my Atari and broke it in front of me.
You went right to your.
I went to Cedric's. I went to Duke's.
And you know what the
and I was still nice. And look, I was able to get on my own content right on their shit.
We were talking about phones, but every device now is a computer. Your TV's a computer. The video games are computer. Like it is. So I see Jamal. I see Jamal saying that that's the point. Like, we never said that there's not outside influences. You can only do what you do in your home.
Right.
Like, that's all you could do is do what you do in your home. And when you catch it, say this is not cool and stop it. But you have to be consistent with that, like checking phones and stuff like that.
And sometimes
but these kids are glued to their phone.
We'll have your child out there a lot faster than somebody who's not overparenting. If you want to be realistic.
So my cousin made a valid point. My cousin said that his parents did all they could do, but he still chose his own path.
Right.
So and just elaborating on what he said, we all did that. However, my parents still had some control. Meaning, when I was living under their roof, they had some control. They could control I grew up in a different era too, so I don't even know if my answer is going to really apply to what it is nowadays. But the bottom line is, my parents had still enough control. I've been on punishment for a whole week, and I didn't leave the house because I knew for that whole week what would happen to me if I left. Mm-hmm. But I also grew up in an era where I had 19 mothers. Mm-hmm. So if I did leave that house, every motherfucking parent in that courtyard knew that I wasn't supposed to be outside, and they was whooping my ass until my mother got back. No. So for me, it was a different era. So Jamal and Chris, I can respect what you're saying because y'all grew up in a different time, and that different time slot is way different than my time slot. But I grew up where you're right, a community raised me, and I still chose my own path, and I still did all the dumb shit. But I can promise you this: I didn't do no dumb shit around them.
You couldn't.
But now it's different.
You couldn't, because if you did something, you got back to your parents before you even got back home.
But now it's different. You got a lot of parents that are working, not home themselves. So if they put you on punishment for a whole week, they don't know if you're on punishment because they at work every day. They just know you in the house when they get there.
But see, and you know what's funny though? You know what's funny about this is we, like you're talking about that, we had 19 mothers, right? And I think the worst part about that is after all of them mothers, I didn't have 19, but I had about 5 of them. All 5 of them would beat me. And then my mother came home or my dad came home and they beat me. Like, you don't think I got enough? But nowadays, parents will tell you, don't you put your hands on my kid.
Yep, that's true.
I'm trying to help you.
Nah.
See?
Not in my era. I grew up on the hill. See? In my era,
you bet
Miss Teen, there's certain women that I was afraid of because they gave way worse ass whoopings than my mother. Miss Teen, this lady, man, this shit got me sweating just because I brought up her fucking name. Shit got me sweating, son. There were certain women that would bust my ass way worse than my mother. And my mother would come home and bust my ass because she found out that the lady, Miss Teen, had to bust my ass. Miss Sally used to be the drinker in my community. She drank she was a drinker. And if she could get up the strength to fuck you up, it was a bad one. Because she was drunk. So you know she had no off button. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. Like, so these people help my mother to keep me in line best they could. Now, like I said, I still did all the dumb shit. I did everything humanly possible out there, sold drugs, stole everything. And my thing was stealing anyway. But the crazy part was, I never, ever did it around where I grew up because I knew.
Sally with the broom, she sure did.
But here's the thing. If we all grew up in a neighborhood like that, we all got it. I might not have 19.
And you forgot to mention the ones that was in the window. They could tell the story play by play.
Goddamn right. They tell it play by play. Tell who was all there.
Who was all there?
But the problem that we have now, is the communities that we live in. You see somebody kid doing something, and you go and tell their parents believe in the kid over you. Why am I lying on your kid?
But that's because the dynamics have changed.
The dynamics, I think, and this is where, and I think this is something that, and I may be wrong, but this is just my belief. The dynamics have changed because we let it change. We was raised like that.
Absolutely.
We was raised with people that wasn't even in our family, but they were family. Because we was raised that blood don't make you family, loyalty do, right? My mother has some loyal friends. My dad has some loyal friends. And if they saw me doing something, they was grabbing me up. My dad's best friend saw me hanging with some kids I wasn't supposed to be hanging with. It wasn't no, hey, how you doing? Nothing. Son came and wrinkled up the back of the material on my shirt and drug me down the street on my toes.
It could change just because of that. I think people changed over the time too, because now people are weirdos. So the same people that probably used to grab you up can't grab you up no more. Half of them is pedophiles and other shit. So it's different.
But then if they weirdos, Dawn, why you hanging with them? Like these people that were grabbing us up, my mother, like, that's what I'm saying. These people that were grabbing us and disciplining us, these are my mother's closest friends.
Got me twisted. It's not about hanging with them. It's about somebody else seeing you snatch the kid up, doing whatever. So now they think they can do it.
Well, let me so I can clarify that. What I'm saying is the people that were doing it were my mother's close friends. It was a community. It was my mother's close friends. I'm sorry.
Any of my friends, I can snatch their kids up back in the day.
You don't really have that no more.
What did you say, Tony?
Any of my friends' kids growing up, I can snatch them up. Any of them. I was able to get your ass, and run them back to the house. They may come back out, or they may run away from me, and I may not have hit them, but I usually could run them back home or do what I needed to do because my mans and them knew that I was only doing it for the right reason.
But that
was
earlier. Go back to what you said earlier, because that's
the same nigga that was your friend
back in the day from your parents. But
Huh?
Deshaun Watson with all the massage chicks?
No, not Deshaun Watson. He was a white boy. He was a baseball player. He had to go overseas. He had to go overseas. Lost his contract. Everybody accused him. When it finally came out, she was setting him up the whole time. She was texting her people talking about, oh yeah,
that's going on right now. The white girl, yes, I know what you're talking about.
And they did an interview. They did an interview with her, and she still justified it.
Yeah.
And this man has lost millions and millions of dollars because you accused him. It was a video, literally. The day that she said he attacked her, it's a video of her the next day laying in bed with him. He's laying in bed with an eye cover on. She's laying next to him with no bruises, smiling, smirking at the camera. But this man just physically assaulted you, and you're trying to get away from him, but you're laying next to him peacefully. So we live in a real society where like there's no real definitive answer. Like you said, the vigilante and all of that. Okay, that's cool. But we live in a society now when it comes to that pedophile stuff. Like you said, you don't know that story. Yeah, I want to know this man is in this neighborhood or this woman is in this neighborhood, because let's not act like there's not women on there doing things.
It is. Right. It is.
But it's like, do you take it to that vigilante status? Yeah, you could do that to make them uncomfortable to get up out your neighborhood, but you should be able to be in a neighborhood where you don't want to, because even though they might not be on the list, but they still may be a pedophile. They just ain't got caught. How many criminals you know out here in these streets is criminals, but they just ain't got caught yet.
It's a lot.
Now I'm gonna tell you something that's crazy. In all the years that I was collecting that shit, I never got one woman pedophile. And I know there was women out there that were pedophiles, but I never got one. So in saying that, what I'm saying is, it's definitely different for women than it is for men, for women pedophiles.
It is.
They go right back to their lives if there's nothing
like,
gonna happen.
But so you can get in trouble for this comment. I'm probably am, but it's always been a double standard with that. So let's go to something like, okay, R. Kelly. Do anybody still listen to R. Kelly music?
I sure do.
You do? Okay. So everybody's like, oh, R. Kelly. R. Kelly been telling us for years what he been doing. But when you were in high school and you came in, maybe you was a freshman or a sophomore. The senior girls in high school, they wasn't dating nobody in the school. Who they were dating? The dope boy that was 21. They 17, they date the dope boy that's 21. Nobody said nothing about that. But you let a 25-year-old girl come to the school and pick up a 17-year-old boy. Oh my God. So like it's just a real fine, funny line, man.
So I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave this out there. One of my high school classmates got caught up. She got caught up like that in Louisiana. So we talk about a chick from Rockland County, and I'm gonna leave that there.
Listen, you ain't got to talk. I give you 5 of them right now that we all know. So it is what it is.
Here's the thing: you're hearing about all these teachers. You're hearing about all these teachers sleeping with the kids.
It ain't about that. All I'm saying is it's prevalent. And back in the day, growing up, it wasn't that it was accepted, but people didn't say nothing, so it was accepted.
Like it goes
except me, because I called them a motherfucking pedophile from the day they did it. Every one of them, I was like, you're a pedophile.
And that's
what you talking about, son? What the fuck do you mean you talking about? So you know that girl too young. I know motherfuckers that got babies by motherfuckers as pedophiles. So trust me. I give you 5 easy ones. And you know what I'm saying? And y'all gonna be like, oh shit. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. It's that prevalent. It's crazy, dog. So, you know, it ain't nothing to beat a dead horse about. The bottom line is it's out there crazy. Motherfuckers been doing it forever. And it sucks because it's accepted.
I don't think that everything is accepted, but I feel like some situations could have after facts, whatever. We don't know the whole facts, but when
what do you mean? I'm talking about the whole facts. If the girl,
I'm talking about what happened.
Go ahead, say it again.
I'm talking about people. I don't think people with kids or other shit is looking at it like, if they knew the whole fact and you still had a kid, you got a problem. But if you didn't know none of that shit and you had a kid or something, you can't condemn them for that.
You got to know when you're growing up with a motherfucker. See, it's different.
If you don't grow up with them.
If you meet somebody, if you grew up in fucking Westchester and you meet somebody in Rockland and she lied to you about the age, but if you knew this motherfucker growing up, you got no shit.
No, but That's the same thing if you come from somewhere else and you meet somebody, you don't know what the fuck they've been doing.
I just said from out of town, that's different. We talking about
You
in
don't know
town.
what they
I'm
doing.
talking about motherfuckers that knew their mamas, knew their brothers,
That's different.
ran with them, and they still here.
Nah, that's different. If you don't know none of that shit, then you can't be held accountable for that shit. Like, you don't know what the fuck going on. You just a victim like they a victim. You don't fucking know.
Yeah, every song R. Kelly wrote about though, Sean, by the way, was pedophile shit.
R. Kelly
But R.
was telling us
Kelly,
what he was doing.
R. Kelly was like this.
What
You
song was
can
it?
call him a pedophile, but you can't at the same
No,
time.
he named himself the Pied Piper.
Listen, at a lot of situations, people put their own kids in them situations.
That don't
You
mean he ain't a
fucking
pedophile. That's because they put him in a situation. That don't mean he signed. That don't mean he got to sign the fucking application. Ain't nobody making fill out the application because they motherfuckers sit there.
No, but if you know for a fact this nigga fucking little ass Aaliyah, and you gonna go take your daughter, drop her off for a studio session, and she only 13 till.
But you just answered it. You just answered it. Just because they said they kids, he still was a pedophile because he used Aaliyah as an example.
Yo,
but I'm saying,
100%
so
right.
as a parent, if you know that, why would you take your kids there? That's what I'm saying. I don't know what you're saying.
I agree with you. The parent is way more fucked up for taking their kids there because they trying to get money out of them so they can get out of whatever life they live in. Exactly. But the bottom line is, we still that don't absolve R. Kelly of nothing.
I'm not saying it absolves him of nothing.
Oh,
But a lot of parents put their kids in a situation like that. If I know you're a pedophile, why the fuck would I take my child to your house?
I agree with you.
So that's what I'm saying. They put their kids in that situation for that limelight, which is sad, but they need to be locked up just like him.
Yo,
and I'm gonna be honest,
so wait. So Jamal said R. Kelly was abused, and he said hurt people. Okay,
He was abused.
I'm not saying y'all wrong because I don't know that side of him. I don't know. Yeah. So just anything y'all tell me, I'm here for the first time. Does that give him a pass?
About him? They talked about it. I think it was his honor something. His honor something was abusing him or something like that.
Does that give him a pass?
No, it doesn't.
That's all that matters. So then that's all that matters, Jamal. Just because he got abused, I don't give him a fucking pass. He's still doing
because people say that. People say that all the time, and he's right. Hurt people, but it's your responsibility to deal with that hurt.
Right.
But that's the excuse that we put on it, and this is why black families and other families feel like they don't need to go get the mental health part of it. Because at the end of the day, when a situation happens, you should follow up and go get your kid some counseling or whatever the case what they may need. But if you don't do that, you sweep it under the rug and you say, okay, because he was hurt, he hurting somebody else. You create a monster.
That goes back to what I was saying before, and I think we said this a couple of weeks ago, where we feel in the Black community that therapy is not accepted. We don't accept that because the first thing you say something to someone, I think you or suggest that they may need therapy, the first thing they want to holler, I ain't crazy, and it has nothing to do with being crazy.
Exactly.
With, like you.
And I'm not even gonna hold you. I used to be that. Like I don't need to talk about my problems. And therapy. When I tell you therapy is one of the greatest things that help me.
Trust me, I know.
Like when you realize, especially growing up in the communities that we grew up in, some of the stuff that we saw that we took as normal is not normal. Exactly. Like seeing somebody get shot, that's trauma.
Listen,
seeing somebody
I agree. I'm a fan of therapy, but I don't agree with all therapy.
I think that some people here, like she said, you crazy or whatever, and they get afraid of that word instead of exploring the mental health part of it. Because if you explore the mental health part of it, a lot of things that's labeled as crazy, the person not really crazy.
Yo, but see, some people need it because, like, they say, I'm not crazy, June. I saw you walking down the street eating glue, bro. Something ain't right.
What? You saw what?
I saw you down the street, but it just helps. Like when and I'll tell you this, I was told in therapy, like, yo, you was mentally abused. What are you talking about? You see how big I am? Abused? There ain't nobody abusing me, but mentally, and I didn't realize it. So those things help. But even with, like you said, it does but that's again, hurt people, right? So if I didn't go to therapy and I'm mentally abused, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna mentally abuse somebody. It's your job to take responsibility for that. So R. Kelly gets passes nowhere. R.
Thank
Kelly
you.
gets past
But here, I
there's
got a question for
nowhere
you. Now
over
that
there.
you're on therapy, let's switch the whole topic up real quick because I got a really good one. I want to know how y'all feel about this. I'm glad you on, Tom, because I'm curious to hear what you got to say about this. You sign up, you're looking for a therapist. You're in the yellow pages or you're online. You're looking up therapists, trying to figure out what's the right therapist for you based on your
Yo, Tony,
situation.
who still uses the yellow pages, bro?
I'm just putting it out there, bro. I got to put everything out there. You never know, man. There's a lot of people out here that don't know how to
I
use
bet
computers, man.
you still get the yellow pages because you can still buy OE. So I bet
Nah,
you still
son.
get you still
I
get the yellow
wish, though. I
pages.
need to get it. Because the yellow pages always got shit in the yellow pages that you can't get online. But anyway.
Still exists.
So listen, what I'm saying is, let's say everyone on this panel is looking for a therapist right now. You're going through online or whatever you're looking through, yellow pages, and you fuck around and you come up to a therapist. Do you pick a therapist, like the majority of y'all on here is black. Would you pick a white therapist or would you pick a black therapist and why?
Okay, so can I answer that first?
Go ahead.
Because I went through and I don't have no shame. I just there because Beyonce had died. So when I went looking for a therapist, I went looking specifically for a black woman therapist. And then more importantly, I went looking for a black woman therapist who specialized in grief. So I needed someone that could relate to me, that I could be able, that I felt comfortable with talking to. And that was me. So I can't look for everybody. I know I look for a therapist. I look for someone that could relate to me and my situation. Now, I didn't know if she related to grief per se. I just but I look for somebody who can relate to me as a woman.
Yo, why the fuck is everybody? All right, that's a good point. I'm sorry to cut you off. Why is everybody on this motherfucker on this yellow pages shit? Stop, yo, y'all can stop, man. I just it's like y'all think I don't have a yellow pages. I just was throwing it out there, man. But anyway,
tearing you up about that. Telling you about that. Your boy said he
some
go
bullshit, man. I don't understand it, man. This motherfucker talking about looking for advocates now. Like, come on, man.
That's why I was laughing because he said the advocates.
So this motherfucker still can't find any in the yellow pages. So the reason why. So let me just tell y'all something. I went to therapy one time, and I had a white woman, and in the first therapy session, we started talking about my family and and I told her I had 5 children, and she went. So, which just from her reaction, I knew she wasn't for me, because that's not uncommon in the black community for somebody to have 3, 4, 5 children. Right. Most people got 3, 4, 5 children in the black community. She did the thing like that was too many. So I'm telling you, we didn't go 10 minutes past that because I knew that she had already prejudged me. I don't need her. So that's why I'm saying I think it's important when you do your therapy or you're looking for specific therapists that you try to find someone that's more relatable to what you're going to be discussing